Welcome to the fantasy audiobook, Succubus Lord. Start with many children and many blessings. Chapter 1. Congratulations, your initial unit is Succubus. Succubus. Suzanne stared at the words on the stone tablet and frowned slightly. He is a time traveler. 3 years ago, he traveled to this parallel world where all the people are lords. As long as people in this world are over 18 years old, they can be transported to participate in a lord competition in a different world called the Endless Continent. There are countless treasures and opportunities buried there, and even the secrets of becoming a god can be found in the Endless World. So, as long as you can activate the Lord mark in the Endless World, which means embarking on the road to the pinnacle of life. Suzanne successfully activated his Lord mark, and the Succubus, the initial unit randomly selected, is about to embark on the road to become a lord. Although the Succubus's combat power is not enough the top group, but it can also be regarded as a superior unit, which can help him conquer cities and territories in the Endless Continent. The only problem is, succubi are a special unit. They do not consume food resources, but they have to absorb the life magic power of their own lords. If they are not fed enough, their combat power will drop significantly, so the succubi's combat power has always been in a very embarrassing situation. After all, Suzanne is just an ordinary person, and people have their limits. Succubus is also good. At the very least, it is a unit with high combat power. Let's see what my lord talent is. Suzanne smiled lightly, quite satisfied with the result. Only about 20% of the people in the world can activate the Lord's mark, and most of them have very weak units, such as low-level units such as goblins and slimes. The lack of intelligence makes their upper and lower limits far lower than those of high-level arms. Suzanne continued to look at the text on the stone tablet. The talent of the Lord is the same as the initial arms, which determines the upper and lower limits of a lord. Even high-level the talent can make up for the lack of quality of the troops, allowing the weak human race to have the power to rival the giant dragon. Therefore, the Lord talent is also an extremely important part. Suzanne took a deep breath and focused on the Lord talent column. Lord's talent. 100 times more time control. SSS. 100 times time control. SSS. You can adjust the time flow rate of units in the territory at will, up to 100 times. 100 times more time control. SSS level talent. Suzanne saw his talent as a lord, and a smile appeared on his lips. According to the level of the Lord Federation, from lowest to highest, they are F ideographic, E ideographic, D ideographic, C ideographic, B ideographic, A ideographic, S ideographic, SS ideographic, SSS. So, Suzanne's SSS level talent is the highest level talent. Tianyu starts. The Lord's mark is activated successfully. Being teleported to the Endless Continent. Sudden, an ethereal voice sounded. A blue light flashed, and Suzanne's figure disappeared instantly. When he opened his eyes again, he was lying in a dilapidated wooden house. There is only one bed, one table, and a blue crystal ball suspended in the center of the room. Is this my starting town hall? Suzanne muttered to himself. Every new lord who enters the Endless Continent will be randomly transported to a territory and then given an initial town hall. The initial town hall can recruit people and collect basic resources for the lord. Suzanne stood up walking to the blue crystal ball. With a thought, the picture in the crystal ball began to change rapidly, showing the option of recruiting subjects. For the first time, each lord can recruit 2 subjects and 1 hero for free. But recruitment, the hero must first build the hero statue, so it is not something Suzanne can consider now. Recruit. Suzanne clicked the recruitment button, and the countdown began for the 2 subjects recruited for free for the first time. Recruiting subjects. 1000 S. The recruitment time is 1000 S, but in Suzanne's territory, this is not the case. Accelerate. 100 times the time is accelerated. In just 10 seconds, the first subject was successfully recruited. Buzz. The dark purple light filled the entire cabin in an instant, and Suzanne almost couldn't open his eyes. At this time, a beautiful figure walked out of the purple light. Her figure was enchanting, her expression was charming, and her movements were enough to make people fascinated. When the purple light dissipated, the woman's appearance was all reflected in Suzanne's eyes. Dark purple devil horns, peach heart tail, the small black wings, and the twinkling heart pattern in those beautiful eyes. Succubus. Succubus Delisa, pay your respects to the Lord. The first time she saw Suzanne, Succubus Delisa knelt down to express her loyalty. However, Suzanne's attention was still attracted by the swaying white snow. It wasn't until the corner of Delisa's lips raised an evil smile that he calmed down. He raised his hand and gave Delisa a brain-shattering blow. Don't use charm on your lord. Lauluo, I know I was wrong. Delisa covered her forehead and admitted her mistake with a smile. Suzanne shook his head helplessly. Who would have thought that the first thing he did when the people he recruited came to the territory was to do something wrong? Her lord used charm magic. It was simply lawless. But Suzanne was not angry at Delisa's joke. With a thought in his mind, he unfolded Delisa's basic information. Name: Delisa. Race: Succubus Elite. Level: Level 1, 1 star. Strength: 50. Agility: 60. Constitution: 50. Magic: 100. Talent: Charm. Skill: Dark Magic, Expand. Suzanne browsed Delisa's information panel briefly and nodded with satisfaction. The subjects and heroes recruited by the Lord have different qualities. From low to high, they are ordinary, rare, elite, epic, legend, taboo, and myth. The highest quality of the people can only be elites at most, so Suzanne was extremely lucky to recruit elite quality succubi from the beginning. Delisa, I am here. Collect the territory's wood resources and transport them to the town hall. Suzanne gave instructions to Delisa. Even if Delisa has excellent qualities, she can't escape the fate of selling her body. Go and pull down the tree, Succubus. I obey. Delisa agreed with a smile. Serving the Lord as their mission is people. But, why haven't you set off yet? Suzanne asked Delisa, who was still kneeling on the spot. That is because. But Delisa smiled and said charmingly, Lord, I'm a little hungry. Lord, I'm a little hungry. Delisa begged Suzanne for food in a charming way. She had been waiting in the endless darkness for hundreds of years and had longed for it. But now, she was finally summoned by the Lord. Of course you will be full. Hiss. Delisa licked her lips, stared at Suzanne with her narrow eyes, and said softly, You must be very delicious. I will consider it when you complete the task. Suzanne replied forcefully to Delisa. Suzanne was a little embarrassed by such a proactive request, but who knew that the succubus was such a creature? Zan increases his own strength by performing life rituals with the opposite gender. The succubus recruited by the Lord are only willing to perform life rituals with their Lord, which means that Suzanne is their only food. Suzanne began to worry. His level is still very low, and his magic attribute is even lower. Not worth mentioning, Delisa is a succubus who has been hungry for hundreds of years, and she doesn't know if her small body can hold it. Ah, can you eat something first? I'm so hungry. Delisa begged Suzanne pitifully to let her eat something first. She was really hungry. If she was hungry, she might faint. No, get to work. Bad. Of course Suzanne can't spoil the succubi. If he spoils them too much, what will he do in the future? When he recruits more and more people, how to distribute his life magic will be a problem. After all, he is the only source of food for the succubi. This is why Suzanne was embarrassed when he was randomly assigned to the succubus unit at the beginning. All I can say is that his mission is long and arduous. After getting Suzanne's determination after the reply, Delisa could only go out hungry to collect resources. Suzanne was turning around to control the blue crystal ball. He also had another subject being recruited, so he had time to speed up the future. But at this moment, suddenly, an ethereal voice came from Suzanne's mind. Ding! It is detected that the host has entered the endless world, and the system of many children and many blessings is being activated. System. Suzanne was stunned by the sudden sound. Is this, bound to the system? Good news for time travelers, has the golden finger finally arrived 3 years late? A smile appeared on Suzanne's lips. The SSS level talent at the beginning activates the system, isn't it even more powerful? Ding! The system of many children and many blessings is successfully bound. Every time the host gives birth to an offspring, he will receive system rewards. As long as you have one more offspring, you can get rewards from the system. After Suzanne saw the introduction of the system, he smiled again. This system is a perfect match for his SSS talent of 100 times time control. After all, he can accelerate the time flow rate of the unit. Ordinary people need to be pregnant for 10 months, but in Su Inzan's territory, it only takes 3 days. Of course, everything must be based on the premise of pregnancy, and this is where Suzan needs to find a way. Let's speed up the recruitment of the second citizen first. Suzan turned his attention to the recruitment of the second subject. He came to the crystal ball and used his talent as a lord. The next second, the recruitment time that originally took 800s was shortened to 8s. When the countdown cleared, the next second, the pale pink light instantly filled Suzan's entire wooden house. Then, a small and exquisite figure flew out of the pink light. At the same time, a sweet and childish voice came from Suzan's ears. "Are you my master?" The pink light dissipated. The figure of the second succubus also came into Suzan's eyes at this moment. Apart from being both succubi, she and Delisa are completely different. Delisa is a tender and charming mature elder sister. She is a petite and sweet little Lolita. Her light pink twin ponytails set off her youthful vitality, and the small wings on her back are also pink, making her look soft and cute. Of course, the succubi's age cannot be compared to their figure. It can be seen that they are both existences who have spent hundreds of years in the dark world, but they are much older than Suzan. Yes, Suzan nodded, confirming that he was the other party's lord, although he didn't know why the little lowly succubus asked such a question. "My master." Suddenly, the little lowly succubus flapped her wings excitedly, and before Suzan could react, she fell into Suzan's arms. "You finally summoned me. I'm almost depressed from being in this dark world. Thank you so much, my master." The little lowly succubus wiped her tears on Suzan's chest excitedly, soaking his clothes. Suzan smiled faintly, but he didn't care. Since the little girl likes it, let her hold her for a while longer. Taking advantage of the gap, Suzan thought about it and unfolded the information panel of the little lowly succubus. Name: Elam. Race: Succubus Elite. Level: Level 1, 1 star. Strength: 30. Agility: 100. Constitution: 30. Magic: 80. Talent: Charm. Skill: Dark Magic, Expand. Are they all of the same elite quality as Delisa? Suzan saw Elam's attribute panel and nodded with satisfaction. The attributes of the two may be slightly different, but other aspects are almost the same. Of course, I am talking about skills and talents. As for the figure, the gap between A and G may be too huge. Even Elam may not have A. My master. Elam raised his head excitedly, and stared at Suzan's face with a pair of pink eyes. The expectant look in his eyes made Suzan feel a little embarrassed, always feeling that he was walking towards the abyss of depravity. "You say, give me orders quickly," Elam petitioned excitedly. "I can do anything for you. Any. Well, you go collect stones first. This is an iron pickaxe for collecting stones. Take it." After some preaching, Elam picked up the pickaxe and set out on the road to collect stones. She never imagined that her first task would be to collect stones. But she thought about it and thought that she was an ordinary citizen. If she were to play the role of a farmer in the human race, there didn't seem to be any problem. It's just, she's really hungry. Hundreds of years. She hasn't tasted the life magic of her lord yet. Hateful. You have to be the first. After letting the two succubus take action respectively, Suzan breathed a sigh of relief. Feeding the succubus should be done at night. During the day, the succubus should work hard. Let their lord recruit a few sisters tomorrow. Let's expand our territory together and build a better future. Beep. Sudden. There was a noise from Suzan's crystal ball. Immediately afterwards, an unread message popped up and came into view. Unread message. Suzan swiped his finger and clicked on the unread messages. DeLong Zhuan invites you to join the family of Class 7 of Yunhai No. 1 Middle School. Class group. Suzan was stunned. He didn't expect that less than half an hour after he entered the world of lords, his classmates found him and invited him to join the group. However, it may also be the same as those who registered before entering the world of lords. Personal information is related. The personal ID of the lord matches the DNA. As long as the Lord mark is successfully activated, it will be registered in the information column of the Lord Federation. Of course, only the most basic personal information is registered. As for the territory's military units and lord talents, all are private information and will not be registered. Suzan chose to agree, and he was immediately pulled into a group of classmates. Suzan, join the chat group. Look who's coming. Suzan, I just said he can activate the Lord's Mark. Now there are 17 people in our 7th class who have activated the Lord's Mark. The success rate is higher than the world average. Win. Suzan, why do you use your real name as your online name? Outrageous. Suzan, what's your military branch? Is it convenient to disclose it? What is the level of talent? Shu Wei, are you checking your household registration? The Lord's talents and units are the secrets of every Lord. How can you tell others so easily? That's it. These 2 pieces of information are like the length of a man. I will not tell everyone that your Shu Wei is only 9 centimeters. You shut up. Quote. After Suzan joined the group, he immediately aroused heated discussions among the members of the group. After all, only 20% of the people activate the Lord's Mark, and every student who joins the class group may be the last companion. As classmates from the original world, they naturally have to help each other. At this moment, someone at Sushuan. At Suzan, your little girlfriend Kai Qingshe has been promoted to Bronze Lord a week ago, you have to work hard. Bronze Lord, Suzan raised his eyebrows. Lord marks also have levels, from low to high, Rookie, Bronze, Silver, Gold, Platinum, Diamond, King. And Suzan, who has just entered the Endless World, is naturally a Rookie. Lord. When the Lord mark is upgraded, the Lord can get an increase in territory and a substantial enhancement of talents. He may even be eligible to recruit new heroes. Therefore, the level of the Lord mark also symbolizes the division of strength of each Lord. Suzan immediately replied, at Zhao Zilong's fanboy, don't talk nonsense, Kai Qingshe and I are not boyfriend and girlfriend. Zhao Zilong's fan, isn't it? I saw you and her entering a love hotel that day. Love hotel, Suzan, you are not human, even the class beauties are here. I've been licking it for 3 years, but I haven't even added it as a penguin friend. Have you entered the hotel? Woohoo, goddess, my goddess is not clean. Quote. Oh shit, why does this guy say everything? Suzan quickly replied, you talk a little too much. Grass, how dare he agree? I'm jealous. Stop talking, I challenge you. Real men fight one-on-one. Suzan frowned. His explanation seemed to make the situation even more confusing. However, he really didn't do anything. He just sent his drunken female classmate back to the hotel. At Suzan, at Zhao Zilong's fanboy, please don't spread rumors, I'm still in the group. At this moment, the appearance of the heroine interrupted the chaotic scene. Suzan breathed a sigh of relief, but the next second he closed the group chat, he immediately received a friend message. Kai Qingshe wants to add you as a friend. Agree. Kai Qingshe, why do you say everything to others? I didn't say that. Suzan really felt the pain in his heart and couldn't express it, but he never said it. Besides, nothing happened to them, right? Kai Qingshe, that time was just an accident. You tell Zhao Ning to cover his mouth tightly, his big mouth will always spread rumors. What are you saying? We didn't do anything, right? Suzan smiled bitterly and shrugged his shoulders. Then Zhao Ning cannot be allowed to talk nonsense. Okay, I get it. Suzan closed the dialogue box, and then immediately added Zhao Ning as a friend, warning him to shut up. But in his heart, he was thinking whether he should not reject Kai Qingshui's confession at that time. After all, Kai Qingshe was a recognized classmate. Wah, with good looks, and a wealthy family. Some men may reject beautiful women, but they can never reject rich women. However, Suzan rejected both of them. But after thinking about it, Suzan shook his head again. Hey, it doesn't matter, there will be no results anyway. Suzan calmed down and was about to confirm the resources of his territory. The resources of the initial territory will determine the growth rate of the new lord in the early stage. If all kinds of resources are sufficient, it is not a big deal to be promoted to a bronze lord within a month. Difficult things, such as wood, stone, gold mine, these are the basic resources for upgrading the territory. And just when Suzan stood up and was about to go out, suddenly, Bang bang bang. There was a loud noise outside the wooden house. And Delisa in a seductive voice, Lord, Lord, all the wood has been collected, now can I have something to eat? Lord, can I get the power from you now? Delisa's voice came from outside the house like a magic spell. Suzan opened the door and saw a certain amount of wood piled outside his wooden house. And at the moment the wood approached the wooden house, the Lord's Hall automatically store resources in the Lord's space. Wood plus 1,000. In just a short time, 1,000 pieces of wood were collected. Suzan was a little surprised. He remembered that the collection speed of ordinary farmers was only 100 wood resources per day. But Delisa only went there for about half an hour and collected 1,000 wood resources. Lord, while Suzan was thinking, Delisa had already arrived in front of him. Delisa was very close. Her long purple hair fell like a waterfall and scattered on Suzan's fingertips. The soft hair was very comfortable to touch, and even a touch of refreshing fragrance drifted into the air. Nothing. Suzan shook his head and returned to his usual calmness. Then, an evil smile appeared at the corner of Delisa's lips, and her cold fingertips lightly scratched Suzan's skin. The strange touch made Suzan tremble slightly. The seductive words echoed in his ears. Lord, please give me strength, please. After finishing her words, Delisa's fingertips had already landed on Suzan's cheek, and she gently held it with her two snow-white slender jade hands, waiting at any time to give her the power of the Lord from her favorite Lord. Not yet this day, Suzan was about to say, it's not dark yet, don't worry. But his words have not yet finished. Teresa came to greet him, covering Suzan's mouth that was about to speak, the next second. Delisa's fingertips bloomed with dark purple magic. Ah, this. Suzan frowned. A dark purple magic instantly lingered on his wrist. The ripples of magic power lasted for a long time before slowly dissipating. Delisa held Suzan's cheek with unfinished thoughts and said with a charming smile, Lord, you can't go back on your word. After collecting the resources, you will be responsible for providing me with strength. So, even if you resist, I will ask for your strength, because you are my Lord and I am your people. The words fell. Delisa moved her fingertips lightly and obtained the power of the Lord from Suzan's palm. But at this moment, Suzan took the initiative to grab Delisa's palm. With a sudden move, a pair of like the beautiful eyes as beautiful as stars stared at Suzan's pupils. He seemed a little at a loss. Now the initiative was transferred to Suzan's hands. Suzan was heard to say calmly, of course I will not let my people down. As a reward for completing the mission, I will reward you with a perfect Lord's power. Suzan's words made Delisa understand it, and a bright smile filled her mouth. She respectfully thanked Suzan, thank you for your gift, my lord. Suzan raised his hands and began to condense the endless world. Give every lord the power. Delisa's magic power is very special. Suzan can increase Delisa's level with just a simple transmission. Lord, you won't mind me being a succubus, right? Delisa suddenly asked Suzan with concern. After all, she was also 1.75 meters tall, with a plump figure, and an astonishing weight of more than 130 kilograms. But for Suzan, this was not the case. He didn't take it seriously. Maybe he couldn't lift the 130-pound brick, but he could easily pick up the 130-pound Delisa. It was as if there was a magical power that allowed Suzan to carry Delisa at least hold on for more than an hour. Of course I don't mind. Suzan smiled and replied, your weight is just right, perfect. Thank you Lord for the compliment. Delisa smiled and left her lip prints on Suzan's cheek. At the same time, Suzan carried Delisa into the wooden house. Bang! The door of the wooden house was closed firmly. The space turned into a closed area, and then Suzan was ready to give Delisa the power of the Lord. Delisa finally gained the power from the Lord, allowing her level to be promoted, and Suzan. He underestimated Succubus. The following is a plot of a lord educating his people. 10,000 words are omitted below. On the other side, while Suzan was feeding Delisa, Elam was collecting stone resources in the territory. The small body quickly swung the pickaxe to smash the huge rock into pieces. Come on, Elam. Elam wiped his sweat and cheered for himself, with just a little more, you can complete the mission assigned by the Lord. And a little bit more. As he spoke, Elam looked at the stone mining area ahead. This stone mining area covers hundreds of acres. Hateful. Why are there so many more? Woohoo. When can I eat the Lord? Just when Elam was about to cry without tears. Suddenly, a stone shook. Elam was attracted by the strange vibration. At this moment, the stone suddenly exploded. Then, a clumsy earth element waved its fist and broke into Elam's sight. Earth element. Elam was a little surprised. There was actually an earth element here. But soon, her surprise turned into a wicked smile. I am worried that I will not be able to complete the task assigned by the Lord. It's so nice of you to come. Come and work for me. Oh, my Lord, thank you so much for your power, you are so kind to us. Delisa's eyes flickered slightly, and her eyes were full of satisfaction. She finally got what she dreamed of. That came from the Lord's law, the power. It's like a dream. If possible, she wants more power. Of course, this is not her final say. Give me a break. Suzanne took a deep breath. The only thing in his nose was Delisa's body fragrance and the fluctuation of magic power after the magic power was transmitted. As a new lord who has just entered the endless world, Suzanne is still a veritable ordinary human being. His attributes are even outrageously low. The highest magic attribute is only 12 points. Just a simple transfer of magic power depleted Suzanne's magic power. But that's not possible. Delisa smiled. Her eyes bloomed with pink love patterns, and at the same time, her fingertips lightly picked her hair. A trace of magic wave rippled in the air. Look. Delisa caressed Suzanne's cheek and said with a smile, My lord, we need more power to fight for you. Ha, bang. Just when Suzanne was the lord when giving power to the people. The wooden door of the cabin was kicked open. At the same time, Elam rushed into the cabin with great interest. He shouted excitedly, Master, my mission is completed. Elam. The sudden intrusion of Elam made Suzanne even more panicked. Upgrading one succubus will exhaust his lord's power. Wouldn't it be wrong to upgrade 2 succubi? He should see him soon. My own breasts are so milky. How come? When Elam saw the scene in front of her, her pupils instantly lost their highlights. The power you dreamed of has been taken away by others. Oh, isn't this Elam? Delisa smiled evilly and held Suzanne in her arms, as if she was declaring sovereignty. She whispered, You are late, the Lord has already given me his power. Despicable Delisa, you are so abominable. Elam stamped her feet angrily. 2 pink flames suddenly appeared next to her. I am going to kill you. Just you, a short guy who is not as tall as my waist. Shut up, you disgusting big cow. That's better than your little red bean. Hateful, take the move. The 2 succubi fought over Suzanne's disagreement. This gave Suzanne a chance to breathe. Succubi are too scary. Suzanne sighed. He was no longer a simple little boy. But in front of the succubus, there was no room for resistance. Even the power of the lords he obtained from the endless world seemed very small. Fortunately, the appearance of Elam disrupted Delisa's rhythm. Otherwise, the exhaustion of magic power will definitely be explained here. Slip. Suzanne touched his nose and slipped out of the wooden house. The sound of the fight between Delisa and Elam was still heard in the wooden house. Going out of the door, Suzanne was immediately attracted by a stone man. It was following the instructions and carrying the stone to Suzanne's town hall. Stone plus 1000. Earth element. Suzanne was slightly surprised. Why was an earth element working for him? Could it be that guy from Elam? She was smart enough to directly threaten the earth element to work for her. She was originally a hardworking miner, but she suddenly turned into a superior overseer. Of course, Suzanne doesn't care. As long as Elam completes his mission well, that's enough. Now with 1000 stone and 1000 wood, it will take some time to expand the town hall, but it should be possible to build new buildings. Suzanne thought, and a blue light screen appeared in front of him. The function of the blue light screen and the crystal ball are the same. The only difference is that the crystal ball is also the core of a territory. If the core is destroyed, the defense of the territory will be destroyed. The fortifications will be destroyed. Suzanne quickly browses the buildings he can build. Blacksmith shop, lumberyard, quarry, barracks. After some thinking, Suzanne showed that he built a logging camp and a quarry. Wood 800, stone 1000. These 2 buildings can increase the amount of wood and stone collected by 20%. The barracks and blacksmith shop are not in a hurry yet, because he doesn't yet have an important resource for building weapons and equipment and recruiting soldiers, gold mines. The lumberyard is being built. Countdown 5000 S. The quarry is under construction. Countdown to 5000 S. Accelerate. Suzanne immediately accelerated the construction time of the 2 buildings. The original 5000 seconds was shortened to 50 seconds. In a short time, the lumberyard and quarry were completed in his territory. Of course, it is a functional building and only provides buff bonuses, so there is no need to manage it after it is built. When the 2 buildings were completed, the sky of the endless world was also dyed with a touch of night. Suzanne was going to go back to the town hall and cook food. The ruthless extraction by Delisa just now has exhausted his physical strength. He must quickly replenish some nutrition. Just when Suzanne turned around, suddenly, roar. A low roar sounded behind him. Suzanne turned around suddenly. A strong black bear broke into the territory and was staring at its prey with eager eyes. Monster. Suzanne frowned. His luck was really bad. On the first day he entered the endless world, he encountered dangerous monsters. But, Delisa, Elam, exist, Suzanne called out. The 2 succubi immediately ended their fight and rushed towards Suzanne's location. Get rid of it. Yes. How dare you trespass on my lord's territory? Court death. Roar. A sad scream echoed in the forest. The black bear weighing 1 ton fell to the ground under the fire magic of Delisa and Elam's combined attack. Snort. Stupid monster that overestimates its capabilities. Delisa snorted coldly and extinguished the flame on her fingertips. What are you pretending to be? It was obviously the monster I killed. Elam on the side retorted angrily. I'm too lazy to argue with you. Delisa ignored Elam and walked straight towards Suzanne. She asked with concern, Lord, are you not injured? No injuries. Suzanne shook his head, and then looked at the roasted black bear. Does tonight's dinner seem to be in order? After some troubles, Suzanne set up a bonfire, cooked the bear meat into broth, and cooked it with the 2 shared by Succubus. It doesn't matter whether it tastes good or not. The key is that after eating the bear meat, Suzanne can clearly feel that his exhausted body has recovered instantly. He finally knows why the lords who returned from the endless world, why each one it's ridiculously strong, just eating the flesh of monsters can have such terrifying bonuses. Not to mention those rare treasures hidden in the endless world. Lord, are you full? Delisa held the bowl with bear meat absent-mindedly. She didn't like eating these foods, she just wanted to eat Suzanne. But Elam ate very happily, and the corners of her mouth were stained with oil. Well, I'm full. Suzanne nodded. After eating the bear meat, his whole body was full of strength. Then, Delisa quietly extended her hand to Suzanne and said with a smile, Is it my turn? Before she finished speaking, Delisa came over to Suzanne. The 2 kissed each other in the night, but did not disturb Elam. It was not until Elam finished eating the meat in the bowl that she happily asked Suzanne. Zahn said, Master, I listened to you and eat them all. When she saw that Suzanne and Delisa had finished the dinner long ago and were doing extra after-dinner activities, her pink pupils lost their highlights again. Despicable Delisa. She was about to jump up. Little did she know that she had fallen into Delisa's trap, and the magic power had just started to operate. The next second, Elam found that her body was no longer under her control, as if it was being tapped. The ground was motionless. But at this moment, Delisa glanced at Elam and smiled evilly, The Lord tonight is mine. Delisa, you, Kiki. The next period of live broadcast, 50,000 words are omitted below. Head hurts. The next day, Suzanne woke up from his sleep with his head covered. His mind was still a little groggy from last night's collapse. Beside him, Elam was holding his arm and immersed in sleep. Poor the little guy was just a spectator on the sidelines last night, and Delisa didn't leave any chance for Elam. In the end, she just let Elam have a small taste, which was regarded as an arrogant charity. But Delisa, Suzanne, when he thought of Delisa's greed, he felt his heart beat faster. Sure enough, succubi are greedy creatures, and now he is completely unable to satisfy their demands. Lord, are you awake? The gentle and charming voice sounded in Suzanne's ears. Suzanne turned to the side, and Delisa was lying on her side. She was only covered with a thin blanket, which showed her perfect figure to the fullest. The snow covered the scenery as the most pleasing to the eye. However, the wooden bed is a bit narrow. If Elam is not petite and only occupies a small area, it would definitely not be able to accommodate them. Delisa's beautiful posture made Suzanne feel happy when he got up early in the morning. He was in a happy mood, but he knew that he could no longer be controlled by desire and must let reason occupy his brain again. No breakfast for you. Bad. Suzanne quickly put on his clothes to avoid falling into the gentle land of the succubus again. At this time, Delisa came close to Suzanne's ear and blew softly, "Lord, I seem to have your life crystallization." Real. Suzanne turned around suddenly, with a hint of joy in his eyes. Yes, Delisa nodded. She herself was deeply confused about this matter. It's obviously very difficult for succubi and humans to produce offspring, but we've only had it a dozen times. Maybe, Lord, you're too powerful. That's a good thing, Delisa. I am so happy that you are carrying my offspring. Suzanne expressed his joy to Delisa. Suzanne's approval brought a charming smile to Delisa's lips. As long as the Lord likes it, I am willing to give birth to more offspring for you. Moreover, succubi are different from humans. We will not have a big belly during pregnancy, nor will it have any impact on our combat power, or even. Delisa came close to Suzanne's ear and whispered, "Even during pregnancy, I can continue to serve the Lord." Gulu. Suzanne swallowed. He knew he had fall into the abyss step by step under the temptation of the succubus. Fortunately, this abyss belongs to him. Continue. Create a human being. Hateful, that Delisa guy. Dang, clang, clang. Elam wielded the pickaxe and worked diligently to collect stones for the territory. Her pretty face was full of anger. Elam's resentment came from being told by Delisa that she was pregnant when she woke up in the morning. News. We are all succubi who were recruited to the territory together. But Delisa is already pregnant, but she has not tasted the Lord's taste yet. Hateful, despicable Delisa. Go to hell. Elam knocked on the stone mine angrily. Sooner or later, she would tie Delisa's tail into a bow and hang it on the gate of hell. But soon, her anger turned into fear. A pair of bright big eyes looking at his body, he murmured to himself, "Does the master only like big ones? But it's obviously small but also very cute." Elam sighed softly, longing for Suzanne's coming. Gulu gulu. At this time, the earth element carried a huge boulder and ran to Elam in a panic. "What, didn't you see I was mining?" Elam asked the other party angrily. The earth element hurriedly put down the boulder, then waved its body made of stone and gestured at Elam. Naturally, Elam couldn't understand what the earth element wanted to express. Meaning. So I asked it, "Have you encountered other monsters, or hidden mineral veins?" Gulu gulu. The earth element nodded immediately, confirming Elam's guess. "Quick, take me to see it." Elam immediately commanded the earth element. The earth element moved his legs and led Elam to the depths of the mine. Soon, Elam found something that excited the earth element. "I saw, and there is a golden light shining deep in the veins. It's a rare mineral." Elam's lips curled up into a smile. If he told Suzanne the news, he would definitely be rewarded by his master. The chance to take credit has arrived. You stay here while I go find the master. Elam hurriedly waved his wings and returned to the territory. The earth element was left in the mine vein to wait, and the next second after Elam left, a black shadow appeared silently from the depths of the mine vein, opening its blood. Pendako launched a surprise attack on the earth element. On the other side, Suzanne was trying to speed up Delisa's pregnancy. It takes a few months longer for a succubus to be pregnant than a human, but with Suzanne's hundredfold acceleration, it can be done in 5 days. Give birth to offspring. That should do the trick. Suzanne gently stroked Delisa's lower abdomen. With his efforts, the succubus mark located on the lower abdomen has been filled with a certain amount of magic power. This is also the special talent of the succubus race. There are 3 layers of seals in the succubus mark. Every time you break through a level, the succubus can gain all-round growth. But looking at it now, if you want Delisa to break through the first level, I'm afraid it will take hundreds of inputs. Lord, I feel that the little guy in my belly is growing super fast. Is this your power? Delisa was very shocked by what Suzanne did. Of course, Suzanne's time acceleration will not have any impact on her body. Well, your task now is to take good care of the fetus, do you understand? Suzanne nodded and asked Delisa to protect herself and the child. Okay, I understand. Delisa smiled. Suzanne's concern was like the flames from hell, which made her heart warm. Owner. At this time, Elam hurriedly flew back to the territory and landed in front of the two of them. What's wrong? Suzanne asked. Owner, I found a rare mineral vein. Elam excitedly reported to Suzanne. Rare mineral vein. Aha, owner, come with me. Elam immediately led Suzanne to the location of the mineral vein, and Delisa followed immediately. Although she was pregnant, it did not affect the battle. Soon, they arrived at the location of the mineral vein, but the moment they arrived at the scene, the three of them were stunned. They saw, a giant python was wrapping around the earth element, trying to swallow it into its belly. Monster. Suzanne's face froze when he saw the scene in front of him. This giant python is 20 meters long, covered with dark red scales, and has a gray horn on its head. This monster, at least it is a first-order 2-star monster. Gulugu. When the earth element saw the reinforcements arriving, he hurriedly waved his hands and asked Suzanne and the others for help. As a condensed elemental body of stone, it never dreamed that one day it would be used as food. Get rid of it. Suzanne issued an order to the two succubi. Although the opponent is a first-order 2-star monster, it still cannot pose a threat to the elite quality succubus. Give it to me, owner. Elam was excited and was about to take action. Suddenly, a dark purple flame passed by Elam's body. The next second, the giant python was engulfed in the sea of fire. Hiss. The giant python let out a miserable scream, and its huge body kept shaking, trying to put out the flames. But Delisa's flames seemed to have life. The more the giant python struggled, the more powerful the flames became. In just a moment, the giant python burned into a puddle of ashes. When did your magic power become so powerful? Elam looked at Delisa in disbelief. The flames the other party released just now were definitely several levels stronger than his own. But they were both succubus recruited to the territory on the same day. Of course it is. Delisa glanced at Suzanne and smiled evilly. It's the power of the Lord. That naturally comes from the power of the Lord. Delisa smiled mysteriously and looked at Suzanne with a pair of seductive eyes. Even if the seal of the succubus mark is not broken, the succubus can still improve its own strength by absorbing the life magic power of the Lord. With the help of Suzanne, her attributes have doubled. Elam gritted her teeth in envy. A pair of big watery eyes looked at Suzanne expectantly. Her eyes seemed to be able to speak, conveying her extremely envious jealousy to Suzanne. Ahem. Suzanne shifted his gaze in embarrassment. This was definitely not because he was partial, but because he was too weak now. That night was completely Delisa's home court, and he was just cooperating with her. Poor Eluum, who said you can't beat Delisa? Lord, something seems to have fallen. Delisa walked to the burnt corpse of the monster. She reached out and picked up a spar from the ground. The spar flashed with blue light, which made Suzanne feel happy. He said, "This is a magic crystal. The so-called magic crystals are simply experience. Killing powerful monsters will drop magic crystals. The magic crystals will be stored in the territory and can promote the levels of the people of the territory anytime and anywhere." Delisa handed the magic crystal to Suzanne. As soon as Suzanne took over, the magic crystal turned into a ball of white light and poured into Suzanne's mind. At the same time, an ethereal voice sounded. Magic crystal storage capacity plus 100. And 100 magic crystals just upgrade the first level 1-star to the first level 2-star. Of course, Suzanne was not in a hurry to use it. His attention was attracted by the golden light deep in the mine veins. Master. Elam hurriedly pointed to the golden light deep in the vein and shouted, "This is the rare mineral vein I found." Earth element scratches his head crazily. This is. Suzanne walked into the depths of the mine and stared at the golden light intently. Gold mine. Suzanne made a judgment first, but after thinking for a moment, he immediately shook his head. It seemed that it was not an ordinary gold mine, because he found that the golden light seemed to contain other colors. It was like a colorful brilliance. Could it be brilliant gold? Suzanne was shocked. The so-called brilliant gold is an ore that is higher than gold mines. Gold can be used to recruit heroes and people, or to build equipment, while brilliant gold can be used to recruit epic heroes or build equipment. An important material for rune-enchanted equipment. In other words, using the example of drawing cards in the game, it is guaranteed. As long as you have brilliant gold, you will definitely recruit heroes above the epic level. And add rune enchantments to weapons and equipment. It can be said that it is far away an existence that is 10,000 times rarer than gold. According to the pricing in the trading market, 1 unit of brilliant gold is equal to 10,000 gold. And judging from the mineral veins in front of us, there are at least 10 units of brilliant gold. This represents 100,000 gold. 100,000 gold. 100 units of gold recruit 1 subject, that's 1,000 subjects. 1,000 succubi. Elam. Suzan hugged Elam directly in excitement. What's wrong? Before Elam could react, Suzan had already carried her into the air. You did a great job. Suzan kissed Elam hard on the face. Even though Elam is small, he is so reliable at critical times. Thank you for the compliment, master. Hey. After receiving Suzan's praise, Elam's young and pretty face showed a bright smile. At the same time, he mustered up the courage to ask Suzan, Master, can I make a small request? Certainly, you say. Suzan smiled widely and listened carefully to Elam's appeal. I want to be like Delisa. Elam shyly held Suzan's cheek and asked expectantly, get the master's favor. Hearing this, Suzan smiled faintly and replied, no problem, how about tonight? Real, certainly. Great. Earth element, what are you doing? Work quickly. Earth element anger % at hash. Soon, all the brilliant gold was collected. There are a total of 12 units of brilliant gold, and Suzan plans to sell 2 units of brilliant gold. Because there is a high probability that there are no gold resources in his territory. In order to speed up development, gold is a necessary resource, and recruitment guarantee requires 5 units of brilliant gold, so selling 2 units of brilliant gold is the best choice. Of course, if necessary, you can sell more brilliant gold. After all, even with the simplest hero recruitment, it is possible to recruit heroes above the epic level. It is just a matter of probability. The probability of an epic hero appearing is about 1.5%. After returning to the territory, Suzan immediately put 2 units of brilliant gold on the trading market at a price of 15,000 gold. The trading market will deduct a 10% transaction tax, so why not 10,000 gold? Resources that are priced but not marketable are naturally higher than the reference price. And that moment when 2 units of brilliant gold appear on the trading market, it immediately attracted the attention of a group of lords. A bright gold mine appeared in someone's territory. Just a dark iron lord. Is this kid just lucky? Is there a bright gold mine at the beginning? What is the use of 2 units of brilliant gold? At least 5 units should be sold together. He must have some extra. The dazzling gold mine is mine. First come first served. The epic hero is here. Add me as a friend. Just the moment he hung up, Suzan received dozens of friend requests in an instant. And without exception, they were all gold lords, and there were even platinum lords who added him as friends. This made Suzan feel happy. It turns out that the brilliant gold is more valuable than he thought. Suzan agreed to everyone's friend requests one by one, the next second. Dozens of chat boxes engulfed him like a flood. Brother, is there too much brilliant gold? There must be some, right? You can sell 5 at once. I offer 80,000 gold. Friend, I know you still have some stock, can you part with it? Most of the content of the chat was asking about Suzan's brilliant gold reserves. After all, most lords above the gold level are well informed, and they know that it is impossible for 2 units of brilliant gold to appear at one time, at least 5. A unit of ore vein. Otherwise, even the recruitment guarantee is not enough. 2 units of brilliant gold can create at most 1 rune enchanted equipment, but if you use brilliant gold to create rune enchanted equipment, the improvement is far inferior to that of an epic quality hero. It's impressive. After Suzan learned about everyone's demands, he also knew that basically no one would buy 2 units of brilliant gold. Even if someone did buy it, the premise is that the other party still has more than 3 units of brilliant gold, or other complicated reasons. Therefore, it may take a long time to sell his 2 units of brilliant gold. So Suzan sent a message to the crowd. I happen to have 7 units of brilliant gold, but because there are too many people asking for the price, and my territory mark level is only black iron, I cannot enter the auction house, so it is difficult to judge who to trade with. Let's do this, each of you bids a number, and the one with the highest price gets it. Suzan sent this message to everyone who came to bid. As soon as the news was sent out, all the lords were ecstatic. They guessed right. This black iron lord must have more than 5 units of brilliant gold. But the next second, they fell into deep thought again. Suzan's rule is to set the price of brilliant gold at a void that can be high or low. Similar to the bidding method, the price is cleverly hidden. Sometimes, maybe more efficient than bidding. And Suzan can just wait for the Lord's quotations with peace of mind. 7 units of brilliant gold are sold in a bundle, which is at least worth more than 100,000 gold. Of course, his best estimate is 120,000 gold. This far exceeded the price of brilliant gold. In addition, due to the extremely lack of resources in the early stage, it was a timely help for Suzan. About 10 minutes later, the first lord's offer was finally received. I offer 100,000 gold. As Suzan guessed, the base price is basically impossible to be less than 100,000. Soon, the second lord also revealed his price. 110,000. Then, third place, fourth place, 90,000. 115,000. 120,000. 200. 130,000. Suzan glanced at the quotations of the lords, and his heart was filled with joy. The lord who quoted 200, give it to me. 150,000. Suddenly, a lord's quotation directly ended the game. Suzan took a sharp breath. 150,000. This price is already twice the price of the brilliant gold. Okay, the shining gold is yours. Suzan immediately made a deal with the other party. Brilliant gold 7. Gold plus 150000. Take off. Thank you very much, little friend. This brilliant gold came just in time. After completing the transaction, the lord expressed his gratitude to Suzan. Happy transaction, Suzan replied, and informed the other lords that the brilliant gold had been sold. The other lords could only end the conversation in frustration. When Suzan was about to end the conversation, he suddenly discovered that the person who bought the brilliant gold was the Platinum Lord. Sure enough, the Platinum Lord is rich. Suzan glanced at the territory's 150,000 gold reserves and felt happy. This money is enough to upgrade his territory by several levels. But before that, owner, Elam walked up to Suzan with a rosy face and said shyly, "It's already night." Suzan heard this and turned off the blue light screen with a smile. Then he cast a pair of blazing eyes on Elam and whispered, "I've kept you waiting for so long. Are you ready? I'm about to be eaten by a succubus." Elam's eyes were wandering, and her young and pretty face was full of shyness. Although they are both succubi, she is completely different from Delisa. Delisa can get started directly and will not bluff. If it was Delisa at this time, she would have already started to take action against Suzan. Although Elam spoke plausibly, he still stood there and did not dare to take action. Suzan also noticed that Elam's pink heart-shaped tail was swaying rapidly, revealing her nervousness. This made Suzan secretly laugh in his heart. He turned out to be a king with a strong mouth. The kind that loses control at the critical moment. That's it. Suzan directly stretched out his big hand and picked up Elam like a stuffed toy. He said with a smile, "Who is the prey?" Elam, "Ah, it turns out that I am the prey. Hunters need to load up." Snapped, "Ah, master, I've been shot. Don't be afraid, I'll help you stop bleeding." At dawn, Suzan sat by the window and enjoyed breakfast. Delisa was standing behind Suzan, gently squeezing his shoulders to relieve his fatigue. As the source of magic power, Suzan can be said to be responsible for his duties, but it is a pity that Elam is too useless. It is obviously a succubus, but as a creature in the endless world, it cannot weave the fusion of magic power well. What a disgrace to the succubus. Moreover, Elam's combat power is even lower. If Delisa hadn't helped her, she wouldn't have been able to concentrate the magic power between her eyebrows. Maybe, this is the difference between big sister and little sister. Elam is really mean. Delisa pinched Suzan's shoulders and mocked with a smile, "Sure enough, there is a reason why you are not tall." "Shut up, Delisa, I'm just too nervous." Not trash, Elam shouted with a trembling voice. Her attitude was very firm, but her trembling calves betrayed her. As soon as she stood up, the severe pain forced her to kneel down again. Yes, it's not trash. Delisa chuckled and answered, a hint of contempt flashed in her beautiful eyes. Hateful, this is not my fault. It must be that the magic is so powerful. Ah, yes, yes. Suzanne did not participate in the conversation between the two, and was just drinking coffee. Regarding the evaluation of the two succubi, Suzanne said that they each have their own advantages. Some people like adult women, and some people like Luoli, and Suzanne are different. He likes anyone as long as they are beautiful. In other words, Suzanne quite likes Elam. Because Elam has a petite and cute appearance, just like a doll. It makes people love and think at the same time. Destroy it. After eating breakfast, Suzanne immediately started today's work. He glanced at the resources of the territory. Wood 5,000, stone 6,000, gold 15W, brilliant gold 5. Sufficient resources make Suzanne feel extremely comfortable. As soon as my mind moved, I immediately started the construction mode. The first building to be built is naturally the hero statue. The construction requirements of the hero statue are 3,000 wood, 5,000 stone, and 1,000 gold. Put up. Suzanne clicked the build button. The hero statue is under construction. Countdown, 9999s. Accelerate. After 100s, the hero statue is completed. You are eligible for a free recruitment. When the construction of the hero statue was completed, Suzanne fell into deep thought. Do you want to use brilliant gold? Suzanne thought for a moment, and finally decided to use brilliant gold. Because, with the first free recruitment, the probability of recruiting high-quality heroes is much lower than ordinary recruitment. Moreover, as the level of the Lord's mark increases, the recruitment level will also increase slightly. The probability of high-quality heroes. So, using them at this time is the most profitable. High-quality heroes are also more conducive to early combat. Recruit. Use brilliant gold. Recruiting heroes. Brilliant gold has been used. Countdown, 72h. Accelerate. Time accelerates. In an hour, Suzanne will usher in the first hero in the territory. After that, after Suzanne finished recruiting, he turned his attention to the town hall. He needs to recruit a few more succubi to increase the labor force in the territory. But the population has reached the upper limit, 3/3. Please upgrade the town hall. Town hall upgrade requirements: 20,000 wood, 20,000 stone. Not enough stone and wood. Suzanne frowned, immediately opened the trading mall, and directly spent gold to purchase basic resources. 1 unit of gold is equal to 20 wood or 20 stones. Suzanne immediately spent 10,000 gold to purchase 100,000 wood and 100,000 stones. Upgrade. The town hall is being upgraded. Countdown, 240h. Accelerate. When the town hall officially started to be upgraded, his cabin was immediately enveloped in white light. After more than 2 hours, it will be transformed into a new town building. Suzanne no longer has to live in a cabin and can live in a more spacious house. After that, Suzanne built several other buildings. A mining field, a blacksmith shop, a sentry tower, an outer wall and some decorative buildings. After some operations, Suzanne's territory has begun to take shape. Do it. After all this, Suzanne immediately went to find Elam. Elam hadn't given birth to his life crystal yet. We must act quickly. Elam, the battle is not over yet. At the same time, Suzanne, there is a lively chat in the class group. Kai Qingshe recruited a hero of epic quality. Real or fake? Of course it's true. She has signed up for the Academy Lords competition next month and will represent our Class 7 competition. I heard it with my own ears. Isn't she very lucky? This is our first epic quality hero from Class 7. Woohoo! My hero still only has rare quality. I heard that her grandfather gave her 5 units of brilliant gold. Brilliant gold. No wonder. Brilliant gold is a super rare material, and 5 units of radiant gold can guarantee the recruitment of epic quality heroes. No wonder. It turns out to be the power of money. I know about this. The trading place just completed a transaction for 7 units of brilliant gold. Rumor has it that the seller is a Dark Iron Lord. Dark Iron Lord. Gone. What bullshit luck. I remember that Kai Qingshui's unit is an elf. An elf hero of epic quality. I'll do it. I can't imagine. Master, I have finally weaved all the magic factors. Elam was completely defeated and lay on the ground whining. He put his little hand on his little head and patted it gently, trying to relieve the discomfort. What a waste, Elam. Delisa said mockingly at the side. Take a break. Suzan smiled faintly and turned his attention to the hero statue. He was very confused. The town hall has been built. Why hasn't the hero statue recruited heroes yet? The recruitment can be completed in less than an hour. As for his town hall, it has been upgraded from a log cabin to a stone house with an area of 200 square meters. After upgrading to the stone house, the population limit of the town hall has increased to 10. Strangeness. Suzan walked to the hero statue, puzzled. Logically speaking, the countdown to hero recruitment should be over. Why? When Suzan opened the information panel of the hero statue, he understood the reason. Hero recruitment countdown. 500 days. Taboo. Forbidden hero. Suzan was shocked. No wonder the hero recruitment has never been successful. It turns out that the heroes being recruited are of taboo quality. The higher the quality of the hero, the longer the recruitment time is. Of course, the lords can shorten the time with special props. The recruitment time is just that Suzan does not have that kind of prop. Fortunately, with the 100-fold time acceleration talent, the 500-day recruitment time only takes 5 days in his territory. My luck is really good. Suzan happily touched the tip of his nose. In 5 days, his territory will welcome a hero with forbidden qualities. On the other side, Kai Qingshui is waiting for her hero recruitment to be completed. Hero recruitment countdown. 5 days. Legend. Is this the power of brilliant gold? It's amazing. Kai Qingshui exclaimed in disbelief. The heroes she recruited were not epic quality heroes, but legendary quality. And this was also thanks to the 5 units of brilliant gold presented by her grandfather. Beep beep. An unread message popped up. Kai Qingshui raised her hand and opened the chat bar. Qingshui, you have to perform well in the Academy Lord competition in a week's time. Kai Qingshui. Don't worry, Grandpa. The brilliant gold you gave me has allowed me to recruit heroes of legendary quality. I am sure to win this competition. Really, that's really great. This is all thanks to the Black Iron Lord. Even if it cost 15W, it was worth it. Kai Qingshui. 15W. Grandfather, are you serious? This is far beyond market price. Ha ha ha. It's okay, no problem. As long as my good granddaughter recruits powerful heroes. Come on, clear snow. I look forward to you becoming the first Platinum Lord in the family after me. Kai Qingshui. Yeah, I will. After the chat ended, Kai Qingshui took a deep breath. Her eyes became extremely firm and she murmured. Sooner or later I will become the Platinum Lord. Make you regret your original decision. Reject me. 5 days passed in the blink of an eye. In these 5 days, Suzan recruited 5 new succubus subjects. But unfortunately, they are all succubi of ordinary quality, and their combat power is far inferior to Delisa and the others. However, even ordinary quality succubi can get pregnant. With Suzan's efforts, 3 of them became pregnant with their own offspring, and just today, Suzan and Delisa's child is finally born. Come on, Delisa, Lord, please hold my tail. Got it, but what's the use? Can make me love you more, my lord. Finally, thanks to the unremitting efforts of everyone, the child was born safely. Suzan, who became a father for the first time, hugged his daughter excitedly and felt so happy that he even forgot that he had a system called, More Children, More Blessings. At this time, an ethereal voice came from his mind. Ding! It is detected that the host has offspring. Race: half succubus, half human. The qualifications of this descendant are rated as epic quality. Reward: territory increase, elemental weaving A. Lord's amplification, source of life S. Magic weaving A. The magic power of the people in the territory increases by 100%. Source of life S. Your life magic is endless. Suzan was overjoyed when he saw the system rewards. Whether it is the increase of lord or territory, it is a great enhancement for Suzan and his territory. Especially the ability of the source of life. He finally no longer needs to take medicine. Despicable Delisa, are you okay? After Delisa gave birth to the baby, Elam, who had been waiting outside the door, immediately rushed into the room. Although they had been fighting and bickering, the relationship between the two was still very close. Of course it's okay, our succubus bodies are not that fragile. Delisa smiled and shook her head. It's you, Elam. Why hasn't the crystallization of Lord been born yet? When Elam was asked by Delisa, she immediately lowered her head in shame. Some of the newly recruited succubi are pregnant. As a result, as the first batch of succubus recruited, Elam showed no sign. This is something no one could have imagined. It's okay. Suzanne rubbed Elam's head and comforted. Maybe it's because Elam is still young, but sooner or later he will grow up. At that time, life can be given birth. Aha, right, that's for sure. Elam nodded movedly, tears welling up in her eyes. She is still young. She was just born more than 200 years ago. That's all. The children of succubi are also different from ordinary human children. Half of their nutritional source comes from the mother's breastfeeding, and the other half comes from the life magic stored in the mother's body. In other words, during this time, Delisa will ask for more. If it were done before, Suzanne would have to take care of the other 6 succubi and increase his input to Delisa. For ordinary humans, this is definitely a hellish difficulty. But for Suzanne, who has the source of life, it's just a matter of time. Unless the source of life is exhausted. That would definitely not be possible with just a few succubi. It might take hundreds of succubi to compete with Suzanne. And today, not only is the territory ushering in a new day, it's also the day when a new hero arrives. After Suzanne comforted Delisa and their children, he quickly walked towards the statue of the hero. At this moment, the originally dim hero statue is now blooming with a dazzling dark golden light. There are only the last 5 seconds left before the hero of promotion quality arrives. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. With the countdown ending, the dark golden light surrounding the hero statue burst out instantly. A dazzling dark golden light suddenly appeared, forcing Suzanne to cover his eyes. A hero with taboo qualities is just different, it almost blinded him. And at the moment Suzanne closed his eyes, suddenly, Suzanne felt a warm breeze blowing towards him. Next, a pair of hands gently placed on his shoulders, and at the same time, an extremely enchanting and charming voice came from his ears. Are you my lord, handsome little man? Hiss. As soon as this voice came out, Suzanne's body was not only trembling. His heart was trembling. His soul was trembling. It was like the charm from hell. Capture Suzanne's soul. Gulu. Suzanne swallowed nervously and slowly opened his eyes. The moment he saw the person in front of him, his heart was beating loudly. It was roaring like a car engine. What appeared in front of him was a man, a black succubus. Her whole body is dark black in color. She has long black hair, black wings, a black heart-shaped tail and black sharp horns. Although she is a succubus like Delisa and Elam, but the succubus in front of him has an evil charm that other succubi in the territory do not have. Unparalleled evil charm. Plus, it is as dark as when facing death. Suzanne understands. The succubus in front of him is definitely an extremely dangerous poison. Suzanne's stunned look made the succubus in front of him smile mysteriously and whisper, Succubus Fria. Serving the Lord. As soon as the voice finished, Fremia's information panel unfolded in front of Suzanne's eyes. Name, Fremia. Race, Succubus Taboo. Level 1, 1 star. Strength, 500. Agility, 500. Constitution, 500. Magic, 1000. Talent, Evil Charm. Skill, Dark Magic, Expand. 1000 Magic Power. Suzanne was shocked when he saw Fremia's attributes. The highest attributes of Delisa and the others were only around 100. But Fremia's attributes were all in 3 digits or above. The magic power was even higher. Up to 1000 points. This is just a 1 star. Then if Fremia's attributes continue to break through the level, how terrifying will Fremia's attributes be? Suzanne can't imagine. Is this a hero of taboo quality? A higher mythical quality, isn't it? Gulu. Suzanne swallowed his saliva in disbelief. The vastness of the endless world has just begun to unfold in front of his eyes from now on. Oh, Fremia noticed Suzanne's fluctuating emotions, and an evil smile appeared at the corner of her mouth. She gently held Suzanne's cheek. Those dark eyes, like black holes, swallowed up everything about Suzan. He said with a smile, "My lord, what are you thinking about? Why don't you let me do something quickly? You won't be able to grow your territory if you stand still." Ahem. Suzan quickly came to his senses. He was almost knocked unconscious by Fria. However, Suzan knew clearly in his heart that Fria was not like Delisa, who had cast a charm on him. His own temperament captured Suzan firmly. Suzan took a deep breath, and a rich fragrance surged in his nasal cavity. He suppressed the flames that were about to start and said to Fria, "There are several places in the territory now. The monster lairs that have not been cleared yet, go and clean them up. Follow your orders." Fria accepted the order with a chuckle. Before leaving, Suzan also observed Fria licking the tip of her tongue. The temptation was irresistible. Then, she unfolded her dark devil wings, disappeared instantly without a trace. Phew, Suzan breathed a sigh of relief. He just felt that he was standing in front of Fria, with no ability to resist. Even if he had the blessing of the source of life, he was afraid that he would not be able to hold on for long. In other words, Philemia Lemia alone can compete with hundreds of ordinary succubi. Gulu. Suzan was overjoyed. He recruited a top-notch succubus. Are there any other materials needed to continue upgrading the town hall? After Suzan gave the order to Fria, he focused on the materials needed to upgrade the town hall. Now, he is still a rookie Black Iron Lord, but when the town hall is upgraded again, he will step into the ranks of lords. But, upgrading to the bronze town hall requires a new material. The Lord's Medal. And how to obtain the Lord's Medal? There is only one way to attack the territories of other lords. After victory, you will obtain the Lord Medals. If you defeat a Black Iron Lord, you can probably get 1 to 100 Lord Medals. To advance from the Black Iron Town Hall to the Bronze Town Hall, you only need 100 Lord Medals. In other words, you can probably win 2 to 3 territory battles. You can be promoted to Bronze Lord. The problem is, you must first find the enemy's territory before launching a war, which is really not efficient. So, the Lord War comes to the fore at this time. The so-called Lord War is when the lords of both sides lead the war, their respective heroes and soldiers fight in a special space. The winning side gets everything. The losing side loses everything, including life. Of course, because the Lord battle is too cruel, it is difficult for new lords to develop resources, so another type is derived. Special Lord Battle. Academy Lord Competition. It is simpler than ordinary Lord battles. Only hero units participate in the battle, and it is an event mainly focused on competition. However, heroes often die in battle, but the probability is far away lower than an ordinary Lord War. After all, once an ordinary Lord War starts, it will continue to the death, unless the two sides make peace for some reason, or one of the lords dies first. I remember that if you want to participate in the Academy Lord competition, you must first be below the gold level Lord and report to specialized personnel. Suzan thought for a moment. With Fria in charge, the College Lord competition should not be difficult. As for the professionals, Suzan can ask the classmates in the class group. Many of them have already entered the Endless World for 2 or 3 years. After Yuju, he should know how to contact the other party. But before that, he must upgrade Fremia's level. Fremia's level is only first level and 1 star. Although all attributes are far superior to ordinary people, but level suppression will still cost you a lot. Therefore, raising Fremia's level is the most critical thing now. You must hunt more monsters and increase the reserves of magic crystals. Bang! A loud noise. Just when Suzan thinking about how to increase the reserve of magic crystals and improve Fremia's level, a pile of monster corpses were thrown in front of Suzan. Suzan was stunned, and then he looked up and saw Fremia floating in midair. He whispered, "Lord, all the monsters in the territory have been cleared." Suzan heard this and turned his attention to the monster corpses piled up. Not only were First Order 1-star and 2-star monsters among the piled-up corpses, but even First Order 3-star and even 4-star monsters fell to Fremia. Under the flames. In other words, Fremia is only a 1-star level, but can easily kill 4-star monsters. Suzan was deeply surprised. The forbidden hero is worthy of the name. After disposing of the monster's body, I want to get the magic crystal inside. Suzan then gave Fremia another order. Yes. As Fremia waved her hand, the dark flames instantly engulfed the corpses underneath. The blazing flames burned away the piled corpses in just a moment, leaving only a few shining magic crystals behind. The ground. Suzan picked up the magic crystals one by one, and the reserves of magic crystals increased rapidly at this moment. Magic crystal storage capacity plus 2000. The sudden increase in experience made Suzan understand that his worries were really a waste of time. Of course, the more magic crystals the better. Oh, by the way. Fremia suddenly remembered something, and after landing on the ground, she reported to Suzan, "Lord, when I was inspecting the territory, I detected the existence of another territory." Another territory? Suzan raised his eyebrows. Is there another territory around his territory? Approximately how far? 100 kilometers. Quote. Suzan frowned. Where was Fremia patrolling the territory? Why did he fly to an area hundreds of kilometers away? The most outrageous thing is that it has only been a few hours since he gave her the order. Since the enemy is hundreds of kilometers away, it should not be noticed by the other side in a short time, but it is certain that the two sides will conflict sooner or later. Suzan thought for a moment, but he couldn't determine the level of the other party's territory. This is the unknown of colliding with enemy lords in the endless world. No one knows what kind of enemy they will face. It may even be black iron versus diamond, like an egg striking a stone. Therefore, before the other party notices, you must try your best to make your territory appear as powerful as possible. Even if he is just a rookie lord. Let's upgrade the succubi first. Fremia. I'm here, Suzan called. Fremia then half knelt in front of Suzan. Suzan thought, and a blue halo appeared in the palm of his right hand. With the palm of his hand lightly touching Fremia on her forehead, the energy of magic crystals poured into her body. Magic Crystal 100. Your hero Fremia has been upgraded to level 1 and 2 stars. All attributes plus 100. Your hero Fremia has gained new insights and acquired a new skill, Body of Demonic Flame. Chapter 11. Your hero Fremia has gained new insights and acquired a new skill, Body of Demonic Flame. New skill. Suzan was a little surprised. Generally speaking, heroes will learn new skills only in the big stages of promotion. The promotion in the small stages only has an increase in attributes at most, and only a very small probability of learning skills. And Fremia was able to comprehend the skills when she was promoted from first level 1 star to first level 2 star. It can be said that she is extremely talented. Body of Demonic Flame, Advanced Magic. The body temporarily evolves into a dark flame element, which increases the power of flame magic and is immune to physical damage. Oh, after Fremia realized that she had learned a new skill, a devilish smile appeared on her lips. It seems that she has learned a good skill. The voice fell. The next moment, Fremia's whole body she was surrounded by dark flames. Immediately afterwards, her blood and flesh transformed into the form of flame elements. What stood in front of Suzan was no longer a carbon-based creature, but a special life form composed of pitch-black flame energy. Not bad power, Kiki. Fremia appreciated her new skills and laughed like a silver bell. The dark flames also became active with her joyful mood. Occasionally, jet-black flames splashed out, falling on Suzan's shoulders. The interesting thing is that the flames will not cause any harm to him. On the contrary, there is a strange sense of comfort. Suzan glanced at Fremia's upgrade experience. Upgraded from level 1 to 2 stars. Level 3 requires 500 magic crystals. Seeing that the magic crystals are still abundant, Suzan injects more experience into Fremia. Magic Crystal 500. Your hero Fremia has been upgraded to level 1 3 stars. All attributes plus 100. Your hero Fremia has gained new insights and acquired a new skill, Surge of Fire. Come again. Suzan couldn't calm down for a while. If it was good luck the first time, what about the second time? Are all forbidden heroes like this? One more skill after upgrading. Surge of Flame. Intermediate talent. Flame is like a plaything, control it at will. Another good power. Fremia once again used her new ability. I saw that the flames lingering around her were constantly changing forms under Fremia's thoughts. Or the sharp holy sword, or a phoenix spreading its wings. Anything Fremia wants can be woven into shape through flames. It can be said to be a very practical talent. no matter what the situation is. Thank you, Lord, for your gift. After testing her new ability, Fria immediately changed back to her original form and expressed her gratitude to Suzanne. If a hero wants to become stronger, he can only use the magic given by his own power. Crystallization, this is why they are extremely loyal. And Suzanne is still immersed in Fria's continuous breakthroughs and continuous acquisition of new skills. Could it be that today is my auspicious day? Suzanne was in disbelief and hurriedly added 100 magic crystals to himself. Magic Crystal 100. You have upgraded to level 1 2-star. All attributes plus 10. Quote. Suzanne's face darkened, it seemed that he was thinking too much. And, why is the gap in all attribute improvements after upgrading so big? Although we know that heroes of different qualities will gain different attribute increases after upgrading, which means that as time goes by, the gap between heroes of different qualities will become wider and wider. But it's too big. Is this the terrifying potential of forbidden heroes? Just the increase in attributes from leveling up is far more than that of a low-quality hero. Even Fria's attributes that increase by one level are much higher than Delisa's initial attributes. As for the Lord's attribute increase, the upgrade increase of all Lords is plus 10 for all attributes, so there won't be any surprises. And, the biggest improvement in a Lord's strength is the upgrade of the Lord's mark. Every upgrade of the Lord's mark will usher in a qualitative change. In addition, if the Lord wants to learn skills, he needs to rely on other means. Level improvement alone is ineffective. Only a very small number of Lords will have a chance to gain new abilities after upgrading. As for which Lords they are, this is something that even the Federation of Lords has not investigated clearly. It seems that we need to upgrade the Lord mark quickly. Suzanne murmured to himself, and then returned to the stone house to upgrade the remaining succubi from first level 1-star to first level 2-star. During this period, Suzanne noticed that the elite quality Delisa and Elam had upgraded all attributes or plus 30. However, the upgrades of the other 5 ordinary succubi only have plus 5 in all attributes. Compared with the forbidden quality Fria, this is a huge difference. After upgrading the heroes and people, Suzanne unfolded the blue light screen and contacted his classmates to inquire about matters related to the Academy Lords competition. The person he asked was naturally Zhao Ning. Zhao Ning, are you going to participate in the Academy Lords competition? Shocked expression. Zhao Ning. Suzanne, I'm not telling you, how long have you been in the endless world? It's only been less than a week, right? Do you need to sign up for the Academy Lord competition? Are you dreaming? Don't worry, just tell me how to register and the time. Zhao Ning, that's up to you. The Academy Lords competition happens to be on the 1st of next month. If you sign up, I will send you a link later. Just follow the process. Well, thanks, Zhao Ning. I think you are still too impatient. Why not wait for the Academy Lord competition 3 months later to practice the hero level? Even if you cannot win the championship by then, you can at least earn some Lord medals. If you succeed, promoted to Bronze Lord. What you said makes sense, I will consider it. After Suzanne replied, he closed the chat bar. 3 months later, I'm afraid that he will have been promoted to Lord Gold. We are unable to meet the requirements to participate. There are still 10 days until the 1st of next month. Suzanne took a look at the time. This time is enough for him to upgrade his hero. And, during this period of time, it is enough to activate a few more territory increases with the many children and many blessings system. The premise is, as a lord, Suzanne we must work harder to create talents. Time is running out. Succubi, let's go together. I'm going to hit 10. 5 days later, Suzanne's territory once again welcomed the birth of new life. The 3 succubi each gave birth to offspring for Suzanne, and there was even a pair of twins. Ding! It is detected that the host has offspring. Race: half succubus, half human. The qualification of this offspring is evaluated as rare quality. Reward: territory increase, endless life D. Lords increase, all attributes plus 5. Endless life D. All units in the territory gain the effect of endless life, and their natural recovery is increased by 50%. Ding! It is detected that the host has offspring. The birth of 4 descendants provided Suzanne's territory with 3 E-levels, 1 D-level Lord increase, and 2 E-level Lord talents, plus a small increase in attribute points. But compared to the increase provided by Delisa's offspring, it far exceeds the sum of the 4 offspring. And this may have something to do with Delisa. After all, the other 3 succubi are of ordinary quality. Suzanne held the 2 children in one hand and concluded. Hey, Lord, do you want me to give you a hug? Lum asked Suzanne enthusiastically, wanting to share some of the pressure with Suzanne. Forget it, you can't even take care of yourself. Suzanne decisively rejected Elam. Although Elam has lived for more than 200 years, her self-management ability is no different from that of a 7 or 8-year-old child. She is lively and active, and she often asks Suzanne can only fall asleep with a hug. The Lord is right. Delisa nodded in agreement. You are still a child yourself. It's better to learn to take care of yourself first. You, Delisa. Elam jumped up angrily and tried to tap Delisa's belly to vent the pent-up resentment in her heart. Stay away from me, baby. It's a pity that Delisa had no time to pay attention to Elam. With a slight push, she pushed Elam aside, and she concentrated on nurturing the baby girl in her arms. This scene made Elam even closer. Collapse. She took one look at her barren figure and was afraid that even if she had descendants of her master, she would not be able to shoulder the heavy responsibility of raising them. Elam stamped his feet angrily, helplessly furious. Then he looked at Suzanne pitifully, as if he was seeking a solution from Suzanne. Suzanne was helpless about this. Now, except for Elam, all the other succubi being pregnant is obviously not his problem. Oh, by the way, Fria is not pregnant yet. To be precise, Suzanne has not had close contact with Fria. Because during this period, Suzanne has been they are all busy with trivial matters in the territory. Also, as Fria is the first combat force in the territory, she needs to clean up the monsters that invade the territory and be wary of the movements in nearby territories. As a result, there has never been a good time for the two to exchange feelings. It wasn't until these 2 days that he just had some free time. Suzanne looked at Fria, who was sitting by the window. She seemed slightly out of place with the peaceful scene in the house. Fria seemed to be aware of Suzanne's gaze, and then turned her gaze to Suzanne. Lord, do you have any orders? Nothing. Suzanne shook his head, suddenly thought of something, and said to Fria, come with me to inspect the territory. I obey. Fria responded, immediately stood up and followed Suzanne. Owner, I also need to go. Elam excitedly wanted to join him, but was stopped by Suzanne. There's no need for you. Just stay at home. Ah, okay. Elam stayed at home in despair, obediently waiting for his master to come home. Suzanne and Fria patrolled the territory together. The two walked side by side for a long time, until they stopped at a cliff. Standing on the cliff, Suzanne could completely see his territory. His territory had grown from a small wooden house to a small territory that was beginning to take shape. Of course, this was inseparable from Fria's contribution. Fria, I've been working hard on you lately. Suzanne praised Fria. This is what I should do. Fria's voice came slowly from behind. Because Suzanne had been looking at the territory in the distance, he didn't notice every move of Fria. Hey, as a lord, naturally, rewards will be given to the people for their meritorious service. Suzanne happily expressed his opinions to Fria. After a wonderful speech, he slowly turned around. He said to Fria, so, if you want anything, you can ask me directly. Lord, I will definitely. The moment he turned around and looked at Fria, the sound stopped suddenly, just because. While Suzanne was talking, Fria had already taken off all the clothes on her body. Fria, Lord. Fria bit her fingertips, and a strange red light flashed in her dark pupils. She couldn't wait to say to Suzanne, the reward I want is very simple, you take this first. As she spoke, Fria used magic power to create a magic sword burning with dark flames. This is. Suzanne took the magic sword from Fria's hand, but he was very confused. He didn't understand what Fria wanted him to do. Then, another reason appeared in Fria's hand. A chain made of magical power, and then she put one end of the chain around her snow neck, and then handed the other end to Suzanne. Come on, take this again. Quote. Suzanne took the chain again, but felt even more confused. What is this? Suzanne held the flame demon sword in one hand and the chain in the other, feeling at a loss. He couldn't understand what Fria wanted him to do. I saw that. Fria became even more excited after handing two things to Suzanne. He held his cheeks with his hands, showing an expression of obsession. Those dark eyes were ignited with blazing flames to express her excited heart. That's it. Fria smiled evilly. Now, my lord, it's time for us to inspect the territory. Patrolling the territory. Suzanne's head was full of questions. How was he going to patrol? Oh, he seemed to understand something. Fria smiled evilly, and the body of the magic flame was activated. Her body was instantly covered in flames, and she was controlled by her thoughts. Down, the dark flames formed the posture of a war horse. Fria sat in the center of the flame war horse. Of course. Fria reserved a seat for Suzanne. Come up, my lord. Fria called to Suzanne. Her eyes were full of expectation. She is looking forward to flying in the sky with Suzanne. This is the first time for Suzanne to encounter such a special request, but, as a lord, who doesn't like to ride on a flaming war horse and soar in the sky? The flaming war horse even has a pair of black wings of fire. It's so cool. Suzanne jumped up. How to control it? Suzanne asked curiously. Judging from his sitting position, he is the leader in controlling the flame war horse. Just pull the chain slightly. Can it still be like this? Suzanne gently pulled the iron chain, and Fria reacted immediately. The next second, the flame war horse accompanied Suzanne by gently pulling the iron chain and stepping on the horse's hooves. Suzanne understood instantly. Take off. Follow your orders. The flame war horse spread its wings, soared into the sky. Suzanne skillfully controlled the dark flame war horse and began to patrol his territory. Of course, there was a beautiful woman in his arms, who patrolled the territory with him. The only one the problem is, Fria likes to sit face to face with him. In addition, she has nothing, so Suzanne only sees white in his eyes. Fortunately, there is a dark flame as a curtain, and Suzanne doesn't want others to see it. Your own beautiful snow scene. Lord, do you know? Fria stretched out her fingertips, gently lifted Suzanne's chin, and said in a hopeful voice, I've endured it for too long. Watch other succubi take you over. I really can't wait any longer. I really want to have you all to myself. Become a treasure that is uniquely mine. But, as she spoke, Fria licked the tip of her tongue, her beautiful eyes full of longing. Her fingertips quickly traced across Suzanne's chest. In an instant, dark flames ignited. Something on Suzanne's body, everything disappeared in an instant. To this, Suzanne did not reply. He just held the flaming iron chain and the flaming magic sword tightly, staring intently at the beauty who was in contact with him at a negative distance. The only thing he was thinking about was himself. The source of life can withstand the temptation from hell. It must be possible. It must be possible. Now. Fria whispered infatuatedly, my lord. You only belong to me, right? Yes. Then please wave the flaming magic sword in your hand and let's get started. Let's be in the sky. Shine with the sun and the moon. As you wish. Wait, Fria, you are on fire. You are on fire. Hey, I'm sorry. Lord, I can't be half-hearted. Please bear with the temperature of the flame for a while. So hot, so hot. Oh shit, do not care. That's right, that's it. My lord, sweat freely. Territory inspection. It's just the beginning. The following is a detailed description of patrolling the territory, 100,000 words are omitted below. When night fell, Suzanne returned to the territory on a dark flame war horse. After landing safely, Fria returned to her original form. The first thing she did when she changed back was to thank Suzanne. Thank you, Lord, for your hospitality. Ahem. Suzanne looked away with some embarrassment. He is now. Ji-yin is still a little hot. Before, it was hard to imagine what it felt like to be wrapped in high-temperature flames. But just now, Suzanne experienced it. Owner, you are back. As soon as Suzanne came back, Elam ran towards him. She seemed to be bullied by Delisa again. Oh, succubus little lowly Elam. Only the great lord is your true friend. What's wrong? Suzanne held Delisa in his arms and asked. Owner, Delisa bullied me again. She said I would never grow taller in my life. Don't grow up. Elam complained to Suzanne aggrievedly. Forehead. Suzanne was speechless for a moment about Elam's complaint. What Delisa said is not unreasonable. Lord, Master, do you think so too? After Elam noticed Suzanne's reaction, crystal clear tears overflowed from the corners of his eyes. Elam, small but also very cute. But the Master. Haven't you noticed? Only you. Only then can I get there in one step. This is Elam's advantage. Delisa and the others are just jealous of you. You are my favorite, perhaps. That Master. Let's go to bed quickly. Elam invites you to drink black tea. Maybe not today, Elam. But, didn't the Master say that he likes me the most? Ahem, be good, listen to the Master, today. Really cannot. Okay, in the Elven territory, Kai Qingshe is completing the recruitment of heroes of legendary quality. Due to the improvement in quality, the recruitment time has been delayed by a day or two. It wasn't until today that the recruitment of heroes was completed. Kai Qingshe stood in front of the hero statue with full anticipation, waiting for the arrival of a hero of legendary quality. Buzz. Under the gaze of Kai Qingshe, the green elf hero statue bloomed with dazzling light. Finally come. Kai Qingshe couldn't hide her excitement, and her hands were trembling slightly. As a bronze lord, she naturally knows the power of legend quality heroes. The elite quality heroes under her command are enough to sweep away the other Black Iron Lords, not to mention the A hero of legendary quality. Even in the category of Bronze Lords, Kai Qingshe is confident that he can dominate the audience. Ding! A deafening cry resounded through the sky. The dazzling light gradually dimmed at this moment. When the light slowly dissipated, heed the call and come the elf hero finally caught Kai Qingshe's eyes. Even as a girl, Kai Qingshe would inevitably be her beauty attracts attention. That beautiful face is like a fairy descending from earth. Her long golden hair is scattered like a waterfall, her fair skin is as smooth as jade, and her arrogant figure is even more pleasing to the eye. Beautiful. She is so beautiful that people are fascinated by her. Crazy for her. But, what's even more intoxicating is her strength. The elf slowly opened his eyes, and his blue eyes seemed to contain the sun, moon and stars. This gesture made Kai Qingshe overjoyed. She is sure. The strength of this elf definitely surpasses most legendary heroes. Welcome to my territory, my hero. Kai Qingshe warmly welcomed the elf. However, there was a trace of doubt in the elf's eyes. After glancing at Kai Qingshe, she asked coldly, "Are you really my lord?" "What are you saying?" The elf's reaction made Kai Qingshe unbelievable. Every hero recruited should obey the orders of the Lord and serve the Lord loyally. But this elf made strange remarks that he was not her lord. What on earth is this? Why? The elf's cold eyes looked around, and after confirming that she had not found the answer in her heart, her eyes suddenly became confused again. The elf slowly landed and came to Kai Qingshe. She said to Kai Qingshe in a gentle tone, "Please forgive my nonsense just now, Lord. Elf hero Tilin obeys the call and comes. Working for you." Kai Qingshe was startled by the elf who suddenly seemed to have changed into another person. After realizing the situation, Kai Qingshe breathed a sigh of relief. She almost thought that the hero she recruited was going to betray her. Fortunately, this was just an accident. Fine, I didn't take it to heart. Kai Qingshe shook her head and dismissed the matter. Thank you, Lord, for your magnanimity. This is. Kai Qingshe suddenly noticed a vague pattern on Tilin's lower abdomen. It was similar to a tattoo, but why did the tattoo appear in this place? Tilin also followed Kai Qingshe's gaze and looked at her abdomen. Due to the shielding of the armor, only a small part of the pattern could be seen. Tilin took off the armor, and a special mark came into view. Magic mark. Kai Qingshe was stunned when she saw the original appearance of the pattern. She never remembered that the elves would have the mark of magic. That is a mark that only special races are born with. For example, succubi. How could my elf have the mark of a succubus? Kai Qingshe couldn't understand. She hurriedly reached out and gently wiped the mark on Tilin's lower abdomen, only to find that it was a real mark, not a false thing. This made Kai Qingshe unable to calm down. Could it be that he had recruited someone? A hybrid between a succubus and an elf. But both succubi and elves are female. How can there be a hybrid? Accident. It must be an accident. Kai Qingshe bit her fingertips, feeling a headache because of the mark on Tilin. Although this did not affect Tilin's combat power. But as an elf lord, a succubus mark was suddenly born in his territory. Elf, this will definitely make her care. Compared to Kai Qingshui's concern, Tilin doesn't care. A pair of blue eyes looked in a certain direction, as if there was a voice calling her in her heart. Time went around for another 3 days. In the past 3 days, Suzanne often patrolled the territory with Fria. During this time, Fria became pregnant with his child. As soon as this news came out, Elam was immediately shocked. She even began to look for some unorthodox methods, just to be able to conceive the Lord's child. Unfortunately, everything was in vain. 100 times of original intention failed to get this lowly succubus pregnant. All I can say is that Suzanne tried his best. Can't carry it. No. On this night, Suzanne was immersed in sleep. But he realized that there seemed to be something extra under his blanket, and it was even challenging him repeatedly. Glare. Suzanne opened his eyes suddenly. I was surprised to see Elam working hard to catch up with the other succubi. Master, help me. I can't seem to get in. Elam. Suzanne's face was full of questions. Why did Elam attack him at night? Help me, master. Elam kept adjusting her posture, but still couldn't complete the action. She was too petite. In front of Suzanne, she was as petite as a doll and had no power. Suzanne was stunned for a moment, then smiled helplessly and put his big hand on Elam's shoulder. Grit your teeth, Elam. Your lord has become more powerful recently. Well, I'm not afraid. Babble. Shish, don't wake them up. Owner, I was wrong, I think. No, you do not want. Quote. When the moonlight dissipated, Suzanne had fallen asleep beautifully. Elam was huddled in the corner, wiping tears from the corners of his eyes. Choking with sobs, he said, the master is not a human being. How could humans have such powerful life magic? The owner is a bad guy. Suzanne's life magic may be just right for other succubi, or within the tolerance range. But for Elam, Suzanne's life magic is too powerful. With her, the petite body of the succubus was completely unable to withstand the invasion of life magic. Only with perseverance could she resist waking up the sleeping sisters. But the price in exchange was crystal clear, tears rolling in her eyes. Fortunately, a faint smile appeared on the corner of Elam's lips. Gently touching her belly, she could feel that the life given by the Lord was already gestating in her belly. All the suffering is worth it. For the master. The second day, Suzanne and Fria are inspecting the territory. The dark flame war horse passed by in the sky, and the situation on the ground was clearly visible. Suddenly, Suzanne detected that an orc scout had broken into his territory. The other party's goal seemed very clear, and he ran straight towards Suzanne's town hall. Lord, do you want to solve it? Fria asked Suzanne. Wait first. Suzanne shook his head and asked Fria to follow him secretly. Orcs. First level 8 stars. Suzanne observed that the level of the orc is 8 stars in the first level. And this is still the level of a scout. If it is a hero, it has at least surpassed the second level. Assuming that the opponent's hero is of elite quality, 10 levels of improved attribute increases, it's probably around 300 or 400. And now, his Fria is a first order 5 star. Even if it is only a first order 5 star, Fria's all attributes have already exceeded 1000. The opponent's lord mark level should not be high, it should be a black iron lord or a bronze lord. Suzanne speculated, if it is a silver lord, generally speaking, ordinary soldiers have reached the second level. Of course, there may be fault tolerance, and there is a small probability that the other party is a silver lord. And the reconnaissance sent from the other party, judging from the way the soldiers entered Suzanne's territory, the enemy lord may have some ideas about his territory. Of course, no matter what the other party's purpose is, he will never let go of any enemy who breaks into his territory. Especially they are scouts. If the information about the territory is exposed, it will definitely be a headache for the developing lord. Fria, kill it. Yes. Fria immediately flapped her wings and launched a surprise attack on the orcs. Found. The orc's keen hearing detected Fria's appearance, and he was immediately frightened. Just when he wanted to run away, a ball of black flames fell from the sky and engulfed his whole body. Ah! The burning of the flames made the orc roar in pain. It couldn't get rid of the flames, but with its rough skin and thick flesh, it withstood this fatal blow. But it only had its last breath and a body left. The burning body. Suzan and Fria fell from the sky at this moment. Landing in front of the orcs, they were about to give the orcs the final blow. Even if we face death, we orcs are fearless. When the orc saw Suzan and Fria, he showed a proud smile. Then he pulled out the bone knife from his waist. He shouted, "The great lord will avenge me. My mission is accomplished." PFF'd. The orc then stabbed the bone knife into his chest. Suicide. Suzan frowned. He must have died too decisively. There is definitely something wrong. Lord, look at this. Fria immediately discovered something strange. She saw that the orc was holding a piece of tortoise shell firmly in his left hand. There was a text recorded on it, which was part of the information about Suzan's territory, and a paragraph that the orc wanted to pass on to it. Lord's words. Lord, good news. The opponent's hero level is lower than mine. Led your wolf riders to bulldoze his territory. You think about it day and night to advance to the bronze territory. It's now. As the other party just a black iron level lord. But there is only one final step left before becoming the bronze lord. Suzan breathed a sigh of relief when he saw this piece of information. At least he learned that the enemy near his territory was just a black iron lord. And he was also a lord who had been unable to advance to the bronze territory. The quality of the hero is definitely not that high. After a comprehensive evaluation, Suzan made a decision. Now that the territory information has been exposed, Suzan decided to attack the opponent's territory directly. Then just take the initiative. Fria, follow me to destroy the opponent's territory. Yes, Lord. At the same time, the orc lord happened to receive the information sent back by the scout at the cost of his life. After he read all the information, he immediately smiled excitedly. Ha ha ha, unexpectedly, the spawn point of an unlucky guy is near my territory. Finally, I have finally waited for this day. There are still 10 Lord Medal points left before being upgraded to the bronze territory. The final piece of the puzzle is yours. Someone come. The orc lord was happily preparing to gather his troops and launch a war against Suzan's territory. However, at this time, an orc soldier ran into his town hall in panic. He shouted to him, "It's not good, my lord. An enemy has invaded. Lord, an enemy has launched a war on our territory." What? When the orc lord heard this, he was stunned. He was still thinking about launching a war against the territory next door. Why did the war happen to come to him? Wait, he remembered that there were no other lord's territories near his territory, but there is the new lord who just came to the endless world half a month ago. Could it be that guy? The orc lord thought thoughtfully. He guessed that it was most likely that the other party realized that his territory was exposed, so he sent soldiers to launch a counterattack on his territory. How many people came from the other party? Here comes a hero. Just one person. When the orc lord heard that only one person came from the other side, his face instantly relaxed. Does the other side think that he can occupy his territory by sending only one hero? It's really ridiculous. Sure enough, he is just a new lord who has not yet experienced the cruelty of the endless world. A ferocious smile spread across the face of the orc lord. Your absolute counterattack. In my eyes, it's as ridiculous as a mantis trying to use its arms as a cart. Let all the wolf riders in the territory be dispatched. I want to show the other party, the little bronze lord is shocked. Yes, the orc soldiers rushed out of the town hall to summon the wolf riders in the territory. The orc lord also immediately took steps and was about to walk out. However, he hadn't walked out of the town hall yet. Just listen. Boom. A loud bang. The dark flames instantly engulfed the door of the town hall, frightening the orc lord's legs to go weak, and he collapsed on the ground. This. What exactly is going on? The orc lord was so frightened that his face turned pale, and he couldn't understand what was happening at all. Where did the black flames in the sky come from? Just when he was so frightened that he didn't know what to do. Several orc knights whose whole bodies were burning with black flames, head-hugging rats rushed into the town hall. They shouted to their lord, "Lord, run away. That succubus is awesome." What? Succubus? The orc lord was shocked. Was the movement just now caused by a succubus? If he hadn't said anything, he would have thought it was the dragon's breath. Hateful. Where is my werewolf hero? Where is my duck? The Orc Lord pinned his last hope on his hero. His hero is of rare quality. It has been promoted to the 2nd level and 1 star. Its strength is enough to sweep everything, even a mere succubus. Bang! There was another loud noise. A huge werewolf head fell in front of the Orc Lord. At the same time, a message popped up in his field of vision. Your hero Doc died heroically. Please grief. Grass. After seeing the pop-up prompt, the Orc Lord suddenly cursed. He never dreamed that his hero would be helpless in front of the enemy hero. The war had just started, and he was killed by the opponent. Head. And just when the Orc Lord was immersed in fear, 2 figures came into his sight. Naturally, they were Suzan and the succubus Fria. I didn't expect this battle to be so easy, Suzan said in surprise as he walked. He thought that the enemy heroes would resist desperately, which might be a bit tricky. However, after a few rounds, Fria killed them directly, which was not much different from those orc soldiers. Big difference. Lord, what should I do with this guy? Fria pointed to the Orc Lord who was lying on the ground and asked Suzan. The moment Suzan looked at the Orc Lord, the Orc Lord's expression instantly fell into fear and confusion. The other party was obviously just a Black Iron Lord, and he has only entered the Endless World for half a month. Why is his hero so powerful? The most important thing is that the opponent's hero is only level 1 and 5 stars. Hiss. Suddenly, a terrifying guess appeared in his mind born in the middle. A first-order 5-star hero showed such a powerful force. Isn't the quality of the opponent's hero above the epic quality? No. Above the legendary quality. Emotions of envy and jealousy exploded in the mind of the Orc Lord. He never dreamed that the unlucky guy he thought would actually summon a hero of legendary quality. What a start. Brother, do not kill me. I can give you everything. The Orc Lord begged Suzan for mercy. If I kill you, won't everything you have become mine? Suzan replied with a chuckle. Fria. With a command, Fria's palms ignited with dark flames. Etc. Don't want. Ah. Before the Orc Lord could finish speaking, Fria's flames engulfed his whole body. Congratulations on successfully capturing the next territory. Lord's Medal plus 50. The enemy's territory resources have been transferred to your territory lobby. Wood plus 10,000, stone plus 20,000, gold plus 3,000, fine iron plus 500. Suzan nodded with satisfaction at the dazzling array of resources. This Orc Lord had many more resources than he imagined. There's even fine iron needed to forge weapons. Suzan suddenly noticed that there was a piece of withered parchment in the Orc Lord's treasure house. Ancient treasure map. Epic. Treasure map. Suzan unfolded the parchment, and there was a location marked on it. It was not far from here, only 60 or 70 kilometers away. But the strange thing is that the other party clearly has the treasure map, but did not dig for the treasure. Obviously there are dangerous monsters where the treasure is buried, which is why the treasure map has been stored in the treasure house. There may be something fishy, so wait and see. Suzan put the treasure map into his pocket. With the death of the Orc Lord, its territory was also destroyed at this moment. In the Endless World, as long as the Lord dies, the territory will dissipate, and the people in the territory will usually choose to commit suicide. Go with the Lord. Only a small number of exceptions will be made, and this is related to race. For example, humans, demons, etc. After solving the Orc Lord, Suzan first took Fria to the location indicated by the treasure map. The location where the treasure is buried is a dark cave. From time to time, low breathing sounds can be heard in the dark cave. Even Suzan outside the cave can hear it clearly. Suzan's face condensed, and it was obvious that there was someone in the cave. There are powerful monsters to prevent anyone who covets the treasure from breaking in. You have to find a way to draw it out. Suzan knew that once he entered the cave, he would be attacked by monsters. Coupled with the unknown terrain, the battle would obviously become extremely difficult. Moreover, he did not know the level of the monster. If it was a 3rd order or 4th order monster, I'm afraid that he and Fria can be destroyed by raising a hand. Since it's a cave, you can smoke out the monsters. After Suzan thought of a way, he took action immediately. First, He placed dry grass and branches in front of the cave, and then judged the wind direction. After confirming that the wind direction was blowing into the cave, he asked Fria to light it in the distance. Then he lit it in the distance. Wait in the distance. Once you find that the level of the monster is too high, immediately make a strategic retreat. Soon, the blazing flames are lit, and the gray smoke is blown into the cave by the wind. Ahem! A strange cough sounded in the cave. Ah! Immediately afterwards, an angry roar resounded through the sky. The monster living in the cave was angry. Coming. Suzan's eyes narrowed. He stared closely at the entrance of the cave. Although he was in the sky, he could still feel the shaking of the earth. The next moment, a snow-white spider monster rushed out of the cave. It had looked around angrily and vowed to cut into pieces the fool it led off in front of its house. Second level 3 stars. Suzan also confirmed the level of the monster, second level 3 star. No wonder the Orc Lord has not been able to dig out the treasure. However, since it is a second level 3 star monster, Fria should be able to deal with it easily. Fria, do it. Yes. Suzan gave the order. Fria immediately launched an attack on the huge white spider. The dark flame turned into a flame bird and roared away. Chirp! The white spider instantly sensed the approaching danger. It hurriedly spit out the spider silk and weaved it into a shield, trying to block Fria's flames. However, it seemed to have underestimated Fria's flames. It just came into contact with the spider silk. The moment the shield was released, the shield made of spider silk immediately ignited into a raging fire. Rather than blocking it, it was better to provide fuel for the flames. Chi-chi-chi-chi. The white spider's burned legs were scurrying around. Its body bloomed with a white halo at this moment, and it barely extinguished Fria's dark flames. Chirp! After extinguishing the flame, the white spider raised its spider legs and waved it wildly, as if in protest. Does this monster exist with extremely high intelligence? Suzan murmured to himself. Although he knew that the stronger the monster, the higher its intelligence. But the white spider in front of him didn't seem to be that simple. At least its intelligence surpassed that of a 10-year-old child. The battle continued. Fria spread her wings and flew quickly towards the white spider. 2 blazing fires ignited on both sides of her body, and with Fria's thoughts, they turned into 2 flaming magic swords. Phew! The flaming magic swords flew out quickly. Directly struck the 6 big red eyes of the white spider. The blazing magic sword made the white spider feel an irresistible threat. After angrily protesting, it hurriedly fled into the cave. 2 dark magic swords followed closely, they also flew into the cave together. But the next second, Fria frowned. She felt that her flame magic sword seemed to be extinguished. Suzan also noticed Fria's vigilance, so he stopped her from pursuing her in depth. I was afraid that there were other monsters in the cave. Exist. Just as the 2 of them were blocking the entrance of the cave, a cold scolding sound came from inside the cave. How dare you intrude on my territory? Court death. After saying that, white spider silk spurted out from the cave instantly. Like raindrops, it shot towards Suzan and Fria. Fria immediately blocked Suzan behind her, and the dark flames instantly ignited, covering up Suzan and Fria. All the spider silk spewed out burned. But at this moment, a beautiful figure slowly walked out of the cave and walked into Suzan's sight. After seeing the other party, Suzan's eyes suddenly froze. Human. No. The other party's appearance. She looks like an ordinary woman, with good looks, long snow-white hair shawl, and crystal-red pupils as beautiful as rubies. But the strange thing is, she has 6 eyes. Are spiders transformed into humans? Suzan speculated. Some monsters can evolve into human form through some opportunities, or change forms with their own powerful magic power. Judging from the strength of the opponent's second level 5 star, it should be the former. Generally, only monsters above the 5th level can change her shape at will. Therefore, she retains some of the characteristics of the monster. After the woman walked out of the cave, the white spider immediately followed her and caught Suzan's eyes again. They seemed to have a very close relationship, for example, sisters. I only saw the big white spider hiding behind the woman, waving its spider legs as if to say something. And this ignited the woman's anger. Despicable intruder. The woman's eyes widened slightly and she whispered coldly, "You will pay the price for your stupidity." Finished. White spider silk emerged from all directions, attacking Suzan and Fremia again. Although she is a second-level 5-star monster, Fremia's flame attribute happens to restrain the opponent. Even if it is only a first-level monster, a 5-star level is enough to fight Spider-Woman. Lord, please step back. Fremia asked Suzan to take a few steps back to avoid being affected by the battle. Suzan naturally stepped back wisely. His lord's mark had not yet been promoted, and his combat effectiveness was somewhat insignificant. When Suzan retreated to the next step in the safe area, seconds, Fremia instantly entered the state of demonic flames. The black flames instantly enveloped her whole body. At the same time, a huge black fireball condensed in the sky, and the violent flames were beating and flickering, maximize the power of magic. The power displayed by Fremia shocked Spider-Woman. She has never seen such terrifying flames. The extremely black flames seemed to come from hell, which made her feel deeply frightened. Not only her, but also hiding into the white spider behind the Spider-Woman was also frightened. Being restrained by its attributes, it panicked for a moment, and even had the idea of escape. Something is wrong. Run! The white spider hurriedly moved its 8 legs and hid in the cave. Spider-Woman was stunned. Why did her sister flee without fighting? And at this moment, Fremia's dark flames had fallen at this moment. Boom! There was a loud noise. Spider-Woman was instantly engulfed by the dark flames. After releasing her magic, Fremia returned to Suzan. The magic she cast just now was a high-level magic, Hellfire Fall, which cost her a lot. But it also caused the enemy to suffer nearly fatal injuries. Lord, she should have no strength left to resist. Fremia reported to Suzan. Okay, let's wait for the flames to dissipate. Suzan nodded. Fremia reliably made him feel at ease. An hour later, the dark flames were dissipating. When Spider-Woman appeared in sight again, she had already been seriously injured and fell to the ground. Hateful. Spider-Woman tried to stand up, but the severe pain made her unable to move. She could only watch Suzan and Fremia coming in front of her, waiting for death to come. Level 2 5-star monster. Suzan walked up to Spider-Woman and observed carefully. A second-level 5-star monster can at least provide tens of thousands of magic crystals, enough to upgrade Fremia from a first-level 5-star to a first-level 8-star. Just when Suzan was about to give the order to kill Spider-Woman, that white spider just now came back to kill us again. It bravely stood in front of Spider-Woman and tried to resist Fremia. However, its strength is far from enough to fight Fremia. Fremia just waved her hand, and the white spider instantly fell to the ground seriously injured, falling together with the Spider-Woman. The fallen body made it unable to turn over, and the 8 spider legs struggled to flap the air. The funny scene made Suzan very interesting. Lord, do you want to kill them? Fremia said in ice. A dark flame ignited in her palms. Etc. Don't kill us. I can sign a contract with you. When Spider-Woman faced death, she had no choice but to lower her posture and beg for mercy from Suzan. It wasn't that she was afraid of death, but she just couldn't bear to see her sister die tragically here. It hadn't even transformed yet. Sign a contract. Suzan was thoughtful after hearing this. Monsters in the endless world can be subdued by signing a contract. After signing the contract, the monsters are as loyal as the recruited heroes. But generally, powerful monsters are not willing to surrender to humans. She would rather die in battle. Only monsters who are afraid of death or have a bond in their hearts will choose to be forced to sign a contract. The Spider-Woman in front of her is the latter. After evolving into a human, her intelligence is the same as that of humans. Naturally, he is more afraid of death and emotional sustenance. But what Suzan wants is not simple surrender. He walked up to Spider-Woman, reached out and grabbed Spider-Woman's chin, and asked softly, sign the contract after that, you will serve me wholeheartedly, do you understand? Spider-Woman's eyes narrowed when she heard Suzan's words. But after a moment of contemplation, she still replied to Suzan, I understand. That's good. Suzan was about to sign the contract, and a piece of white paper appeared out of thin air. He signed his name on the white paper, and then handed it to Spider-Woman. Since she couldn't write, Spider-Woman could only use her own. The magic contract is maintained by the laws of the world, so as long as the laws of the world are enough to distinguish the identity, it can take effect. When the Spider-Woman's spider silk falls on the white paper blooms at this moment the dazzling golden light. Then, it turned into two beams of light and shot into the eyebrows of Suzanne and Spider-Woman. The contract has been established. You get a familiar, white jade spider elite. The contract has been established. You get a familiar, white jade spider elite. Name, Baiyu. Race, white jade spider elite. Level 2 5 stars. Strength, 1100. Agility, 1200. Constitution, 1500. Magic, 1000. Talent, silk. Skill, silk spinning, expand. The white jade spider's information panel was displayed in Suzanne's sight. Although her level was a whole stage higher than Fremia's, her attributes were not as high as Fremia's. This is the gap in hero quality. Between elite quality and taboo quality, there is also epic quality and legendary quality, which makes the gap between the two so big. After completing the contract with the white jade spider, Suzanne glanced at the white spider. It also fell to the ground and struggled with its spider legs. Suzanne originally wanted to sign a contract with it, but after seeing that the white spider was not very smart, he chose to give up. I am deeply afraid that it will be transmitted to myself through the contract. And the moment the white jade spider joined Suzanne's territory, the effects of the territory immediately amplified her body. The effect of Eternal Life D is activated on her body, and the speed of recovering injuries is increased by 50%. The recovery speed of the seriously injured white jade spider was greatly improved. The monster's original recovery ability was strong. After adding the effect of Endless Life D, the white jade spider regained its ability to move in just a short time. How could there be so much increase? The white jade spider said in disbelief, looking at Suzanne with 3 pairs of beautiful eyes. She could feel that there were several more enhancements on her body, and there were even 2 particularly powerful enhancements. This increased her magic power and recovery speed. A huge improvement. Of course, she also knew in her heart that these increases came from the completion of the contract. That is, her master. The power given by Suzanne. As a white jade spider with spiritual intelligence, she naturally knows that there are some special people among humans. A group. They are creatures from another world, and they are called lords. And the man in front of me is definitely one of the lords. Only a lord will give his people a powerful increase. The question is, why does his increase are there so many? Suzanne seemed to feel the white jade spider's shocked gaze and asked, "What's wrong?" "Nothing." The white jade spider shook her head and looked away in panic. But her 6 red eyes were always flickering, and she occasionally glanced at Suzanne, trying to solve the doubts in her heart. "Elder sister, help me." Suddenly, the big white spider asked Baiyu for help. She was still flipping sideways and flopping on the ground. Baiyu hurriedly turned the big white spider over and let it resume action. After hearing the big white spider speak, Suzanne was also a little surprised. So this guy can speak human words before he transforms. His voice is a little childish, like a little girl who is not yet underage. Phew. The big white spider wiped the sweat from his forehead, and then cast its 6 red eyes on Suzanne. She naturally remembered everything that had just happened. Although her IQ was not as high as her sister's, she could understand her in the simplest way. He still knew it. He raised a spider leg, made a salute gesture, and shouted to Suzanne, "Hello, my master, sister." Bailan. Baiyu glared at Bailan. What does sister's master mean? Even if this is true, she shouldn't use this title. But Bailan doesn't care. Instead, she swung her 2 spider legs and led Suzanne to treasure right inside. "Sister's master, please." "Smart little guy. Lead the way." "Got the order." Suzanne fell in love with her, and the 2 of them entered the cave together to look for the treasure buried here. This guy. Baiyu's willow eyebrows furrowed slightly. She had sold herself to get a chance to survive. But in the blink of an eye, her sister greeted their enemies with smiles. How magical. But Bailan didn't think so in her heart. This guy is so awesome. Even my younger brother can kill my sister and me to pieces, he must be a boss. Surrender, surrender. Take refuge in him quickly. Single quote. This is Bailan's true psychological reaction. Hear, hear. Suzanne, led by Bailan, entered the dark cave. Luminous stones could be seen everywhere on the edge of the cave, providing lighting for the dim cave. Soon, they arrived at the end of the cave, and at the end of the cave was placed a bones. Suzanne was about to approach the bones, but was stopped by Fria. Lord, danger, Fria said to Suzanne vigilantly. She could deeply sense the terrifying magic power coming from the bones, which was enough to destroy the world. Therefore, Suzanne did not dare to step forward anymore. He looked at Bai Yu and Bai Lan, asked the two sisters, "Do you know the origin of these bones?" Bai Lan, "I know. It's our food." Food, Suzanne frowned. Could it be that Bai Lan and Bai Yu were able to transform into human beings and speak because they ate the corpse? Bai Lan, stop talking. Bai Yu scolded Bai Lan, and then explained to Suzanne, this corpse was a powerful necromancer during her lifetime. She only breathed her last breath when she entered the cave. In the end, she was unable to recover and her soul dissipated. When she dies, we'll eat her. We just ate her, Bai Yu explained to Suzanne. Yeah, eaten. I ate both hands. Bai Lan added excitedly, it tastes like gardenia, and it tastes great. Forehead. Suzanne did not answer. After all, Bai Lan was explaining to him what it felt like to eat people. However, they are monsters and there is nothing wrong with eating people. Is she really dead? Suddenly, Fria asked the two spider sisters vigilantly. This question immediately caused a silence. Why do you say that? She must be dead. I confirmed that her soul has long since dissipated into nothingness. Bai Yu replied to Fria, it is her flesh and blood that allows us to evolve. You said she was a necromancer during her lifetime. Fria explained to Bai Lan, what is the necromancer best at? It is the necromancy magic that controls life and death. It is simple for them to simply separate the soul from the body. What you said makes sense. Everyone looked at the white bones one after another. Under Fria's guess, they were full of vigilance towards the white bones. What was her approximate strength during her lifetime? Suzanne asked Fria. At least above level 4. Fria replied to Suzanne. Above level 4. Then we should stay away from her, she is no match now. Suzanne turned around and was about to leave. The necromancers above the 4th level, even in the state of the dead, were enough to annihilate them all. Fria nodded. If she approaches rashly, she is likely to be trapped by the necromancer. Therefore, waiting until she is strong enough before coming back is the best choice. Bai Yu and Bai Lan looked at each other and immediately followed her. Although they have been staying with the necromancer, they are monsters after all, and may not be the target of the necromancer. And just when Suzanne and others were about to leave, the white bones suddenly trembled, and then stand up in a strange posture. Alive, Suzanne frowned slightly. The white bones were indeed luring prey. Now that she saw her target leaving, she was anxious. Oops, I didn't expect you guys to see through it. The ethereal voice came from all directions, and it can be concluded that the way of making the voice is through magic. Suzanne turned to look at the bones. Since the other party took the lead in talking to him, he naturally had no way to deal with them, so he took this step. How? There's nothing we can do, so you're in a hurry? Suzanne asked the necromancer with a calm smile. I can't do anything to you. Then you underestimate me too. After all, I was also a 6th level necromancer when I was alive. Isn't it easy to deal with you group of ants? The necromancer chuckled. Oh, Suzanne smiled calmly when he heard this. He threatened the necromancer, I'm standing here, come here. You. Facing Suzanne's provocation, the necromancer was so angry that the bones in his body made creaking sounds. But just like Suzanne said, there was nothing she could do against Suzanne. If she had had the means, she would have dealt with Suzanne long ago. They took action. Let's go. Suzanne didn't bother to pay attention to the other party. No one knows what will happen if he stays here any longer. Wait a moment, the necromancer hurriedly shouted to Suzanne, how about making a deal? If you can bring me a nice body, I can grant your wish. Oh, hearing this, Suzanne suddenly became interested. After thinking for a moment, Suzanne replied, I will think about it. After the words fell, Suzanne took Fria and left quickly. Who knows what bad ideas this necromancer was planning? The necromancer cannot be trusted, etc. Suzanne ran very fast and didn't give the necromancer a chance. As for when he should come back, it won't be too late to come back to her after he is promoted to Silver Lord. Let's go. Suzan said to the 2 white jade spiders, "Follow me back to the territory." "Yes, owner." After returning to the territory, Suzan decided to focus on upgrading the hero level and increasing the territory's growth. There are still about 7 days before the Academy Lord's competition. During this time, he needs to maximize his combat power. As for how to improve his combat power, Suzan recruited 2 more succubi to fill the population. Unfortunately, the maximum population of the Black Iron territory is only 10 people. If promoted to the Bronze territory, the population will increase to 50. By then, 50 succubi the devil will come together. Ahem. The most important thing is that the second hero can only be recruited after being promoted to Bronze Lord. Therefore, it is urgent to be promoted to Bronze Lord. Tonight, just choose Delisa. And right now, while Suzan was busy building the territory, 2 white jade spiders were sleeping in the room specially prepared by Suzan for them. They might have trouble falling asleep. The magic factor in the air made their hearts beat faster, and their snow-white cheeks were covered with a touch of pink. Even Bailan's spider body was dyed from white jade to red. Elder sister. Bailan shook her spider legs and said to Bai Yu in panic, "It turns out that his territory is full of succubi." He is actually the king of succubi. Elder sister. What to do? Bailan panicked and asked her sister for help. "We have entered the succubus den." "What are you afraid of? It's not like the succubus has any thoughts about you." Bai Yu rolled her eyes. Not to mention that the gender is incorrect, and the race is incorrect. No one should be in heat for a female spider. That's not necessarily the case. I heard that succubi like white liquids, and my blood is white. They must be thinking of sucking my blood dry. Bailan said in a self-hypnotic manner. "I promise. You are safe. Real. Go to sleep." Oh, they were forced to fall asleep in a weird atmosphere. Fortunately, the spider had no hearing, but could feel the vibrations. And just after the 2 spider sisters fell asleep, a black spider woven by magic crawled from Bailan's joints, out. Hey, I said, I have plenty of ways to deal with you." The black spider chuckled. She is the necromancer in the cave, a soul spider condensed by the power of the soul. The necromancer can sense everything around him through this soul spider, but it cannot threaten to other creatures, it can only be used as a reconnaissance unit. The necromancer said to himself angrily, "How dare you refuse me? I have to let you know how powerful I am. Let me find it. Where are you?" The black spider moved its slender spider legs, looking for Suzan's location through the breath of the soul. Found it. The necromancer traveled through several rooms and found Suzan's figure. But, when she saw the wonderful scenes in the room, she was frozen in place. Hateful. Why is it that the garden is filled with spring scenery as soon as you enter? The necromancer became angry. She was still a child before her death. She had always been addicted to necromancy magic and had never learned about the research on life magic. But now she was witnessing such a wild scene in secret, which made her a little confused. Measures. Especially the combat power of both sides is at the ceiling level, the succubus and her lord. The wonderful battle can arouse resonance and a sense of substitution. Coupled with the unique aura exuded by the succubus itself, even the soul in the state of the dead will be affected by it. Over and over again, it actually broke the necromancer's long-lost girl's heart. Snort. Don't let me know your weaknesses. Hiss. What a big magic wand. The necromancer snorted coldly. Then he found the best audience seat and quietly enjoyed it. Suzan suddenly felt as if something was peeping at him and stopped involuntarily. "What's wrong?" Delisa asked Suzan doubtfully. "It's nothing, maybe it's an illusion." Continue. 3 days later, Suzan's territory once again welcomed the birth of new life. And this time, Suzan was even more excited and nervous. Because it is Fria, his forbidden hero, who is giving birth. Suzan was full of expectations for their child, but before that, he had to wait anxiously outside the door. The remaining succubi will let the child land safely, as long as nothing unexpected happens. Boom. Sudden. Dark flames ignited in Fremia's room. What's the situation? Suzan rushed into the room quickly, trying to extinguish the dark flames. But the moment he broke into the room, the black flames quickly retraced their steps, and then condensed into a snow-white and tender little hand. Ah! Suzan was stunned. He only saw a cute baby girl in Fremia's arms. But what Suzanne couldn't understand was why the newborn baby girl's eyes were not clear and innocent, but deep darkness. Even right after she was born, she could master the fire of hell that was more terrifying than her mother. Seriously, ding, it is detected that the host has offspring. Race, half succubus, half human. The qualification of this offspring is evaluated as forbidden quality. Reward, territory increase, Scarlet Hell SS. Lord's amplification, Certificate of the King SS. Crimson Hell SS. All units in your territory receive the Crimson Mark. Get a chance to resurrect, cooling time 3 days. The damage of units with Crimson Marks is increased by 50%. Lust increase by 100%. Certificate of the King SS. All your attributes are increased by 100%. Each time the Lord Mark is promoted, the effect is increased by 100%. Forbidden quality, 2 SS level increases. Suzanne was overjoyed after seeing the reward prompt that popped up in the system. These 2 SS level increases are fantastic. Far beyond Suzanne's expectations. Come, let me hug you. Suzanne walked towards Fremia, reaching out to hug his daughter. However, the little guy turned around, pushed aside the covering clothes, and began to drink milk by himself. Quote, quote. Ahem, what a snack. The first thing after birth is to drink milk, which shows that she is different from other babies. Children can be taught. On the other side, in the elven territory, Kai Qingshe is leading her elves to attack the monsters in the territory. When a 2-level 1-star monster fell under the arrows of the elf, Kai Qingshe showed a happy smile on his face. This is enough all at once. Kai Qingshe unfolded the territory information, and the reserve of magic crystals finally reached 20,000. It was enough to promote her legendary hero Tilin to the 2nd level of 1 star. Ha! Kai Qingshe took a deep breath, and a blue light group appeared in the palm of her hand. When a sufficient amount of magic crystal was injected into Tilin's body, Tilin's whole body bloomed with golden fluorescence. The level was improved. Level 2 1 star. Kai Qingshe hurriedly unfolded Tilin's attribute information. When she saw that Tilin's attributes had been greatly improved after being promoted to the 2nd level, the corners of her mouth turned up involuntarily. Very good. All attributes finally exceeded 1,000. The winner of this Academy Lord competition. I'm bound to win. By the way, Kai Qingshe blinked and said to herself, did he also participate? It's been less than a month since I entered the Endless World. That's it. Everyone is in the same class, so I will help him when the time comes. But, I will definitely not accept his apology. Definitely not. 3 more days passed in the blink of an eye, and tomorrow was the day of the Academy Lord competition. Suzanne is deciding who to take to the Academy Lord's competition. In the past few days, 2 new succubi have been born in the territory, gaining 2 F-level territory increases and 2 E-level Lord increases. One of the increases interested Suzanne very much. Woman's Heart E. You can hear the voices of women in the territory. This adds a lot of fun to Suzanne's daily life. For example, when patrolling the territory with Fremia, Suzanne could always hear Fremia thinking, Lord, that's not how the flame magic sword is used. It's a weapon against me, not for fun, props. Or what Delisa was thinking, the Lord's magic is getting more and more powerful, if this continues, even I can't. However, Elam is a bit special. She has always loved herself since she was pregnant with Suzanne's life crystal. This is the crystal of the master and me. I must protect her. This is considered one of the best among all succubi. Share the clear flow. So, Suhi will take special care of Elam and feed Elam well every day. Ahem. This back and forth always puts Suzanne in a special state. After living with the succubi for a month, he felt that his mentality had changed slightly and he could no longer integrate into the world of ordinary people. Hey, Suzanne sighed softly, and then turned his attention to the attribute panels of the succubi. Name, Fremia. Race, Succubus Taboo. Level, 1st level 9 stars. Strength, 1300. Agility, 1300. Constitution, 1500. Magic, 1800. Talent, Evil Charm. Skill, Dark Magic, Expand. After these few days of hard work, Fremia was promoted to 1st level 9 star, Delisa and Elam are both 1st level 7 star, and the rest of the ordinary succubi are 1 level. Level 5 stars. Most of the territory's resources are spent on Fremia. You have an unread message. Coming, Suzan murmured to himself, then opened the chat box. Zhao Ning. Suzan, are you ready? Tomorrow is the Academy Lords competition. Well, ready. Zhao Ning. I have created a group of our Class 7 to participate in the competition. You come in. Good. Your friend Zhao Ning invites you to join the group chat. Class 7, rush, rush. Single quote. Suzan clicked to agree and entered the group chat. There are a total of 6 people in the group, 5 of whom are classmates participating in the competition, and the 6th person is the teacher in charge of management. Since this is a competition chat group, everyone uses their real names. Zhao Ning. At Su Shui, if you don't understand anything, you can ask us. 2 people in this group have already participated in a round of the Academy Lords competition. Li Yan. Hey, is Suzan really going to participate in the Academy Lords competition? You have only entered the Endless World for less than a month, right? Wang Long. Suzan, who gave you the courage? Most of us have entered the Endless World for more than 3 months. Even I have been growing for half a year. Anyone who dares to participate in the competition. Kai Qingshe. We are all in the same class. We must help each other when the time comes. Li Yan. I feel relieved when you have the beautiful Lady Kai. Wang Long. Li Yan, you can join in. What's the excitement? Isn't it your second time to participate in the Academy Lord competition? Li Yan. Those thighs are so huggable. Beauty Kai is a hero of epic quality. Suzan. How many people can you bring to participate? Kai Ching Shui. At Su Sheng, 10 people. Zhao Ning. 10 people. 10 people. Suzan touched his chin. Does that mean that all Black Iron Lords are participating? But compared to the Bronze Lords, they still have a little advantage. After all, the Bronze Lords can recruit a second hero, and the quality of the heroes must be higher than ordinary ones. Warrior. Zhao Ning. At Su Shui, the Academy Lord competition is held in a special venue, so you will be transported to a special area when the time comes, and we will spend about a week there. Suzan. Okay, I understand. Competition management instructor Liu Bian. Everyone should perform well. The lords who finish in the top 3 in the competition will receive an elite quality piece of equipment. The first place can even get an epic quality piece of equipment. Zhao Ning. Okay. Quote. After understanding the general information, Suzan closed the group chat. Since everyone is participating in the Academy Lord competition, he doesn't have to choose. He leaves 2 succubi to take care of the children, while the remaining succubi and 2 white jade spiders join him in the competition. Also, during the College Lord competition, the territory is protected and will not be attacked by other territories, and Suzan does not need to worry about the safety of the territory. Now, just wait for the game to start. The next day, a portal appeared in Suzan's territory. At the same time, his territory was surrounded by a circle of golden light, and he was temporarily invincible. Before setting off, Suzan specifically reminded the succubi to wear thicker clothes and behave normally. Although they would only express their longing for their lords, behaving intimately with the people of their territory in the public eye would attract some strange looks. Let's go. Suzan led the succubi into the portal. The portal flashed with dazzling white light, and the next second, Suzan was teleported to the area where the Academy Lord competition was held. Of course, the succubi were not with him. They were teleported to a special area. It's like a Pokemon being put into a baby ball. When Suzan opened his eyes, the bustling city came into view again. Just waiting for you. At this time, a familiar voice came to Suzan's ears. Suzan turned around and saw a cold girl with long black hair standing behind him. She flipped her long hair, and her white dress fluttered in the wind, showing a youthful atmosphere. Kai Qingshui's beautiful eyes swept over Suzan's body and continued, Zhao Ning and the others are in the cafe in front, let's go. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.